Chapter 4490. It was not until the envoy of Bibo Tianfu left that Duan Bing, the patriarch of the Duan clan in the Tourmaline Holy City, gradually recovered. Non-powerful. Master the 4th rank of Kendo? Duan Bing only frowned. High-ranking gods, generally mastering some kind of heaven and earth to the 4th order level, they can almost feel the call of the realm of the strongest, and as long as they respond to the call, they can directly become the strongest. As for the general high-ranking gods, at this stage, there is a layer of window paper away from the most powerful person. Few people will choose not to pierce the window paper to become the strong one. The vast majority of people will never give up the opportunity to become the strongest. Because of this, it is difficult to find a high-ranking who has mastered the 4th rank of the world, let alone the 4th rank of Kendo. Generally, the upper gods who have mastered the 4th order of the 4 worlds and the 4 worlds have achieved greatness by virtue of the 4 worlds. The rest, either did not feel the call of the supreme realm, or decided to attack the invincible upper god, and generally the latter is far less than the former, because the invincible upper is too ethereal. Looking at the world and beyond the world, the total number is not even as much as 10% of the total number of the strongest. In our Duan clan, there are 2 people who have mastered the 4th order heaven and earth, and they are not the strongest. However, the 4 worlds they master are not swordsmanship. Although it's all the way of weapons, but it doesn't meet the conditions for entering that place of return to the ruins. The Duan clan's contemporary, non-powerful, 2 people who have comprehended the 4 ways of heaven and earth to the 4th rank, mastered the spear way and knife way, both of them are in the Duan clan, close to the invincible upper gods the presence. And the strongest among them. They are the mainstay of the Duan family. It seems that we can only seek foreign aid outside for the next 10 years. Duan Bing secretly said. At noon the next day, Duan Ling Tian left the inn with Tan Xueqi, ate at a nearby restaurant, and after listening to the conversations of some drinkers, he found out where the Duan family's recruitment stronghold in the Tourmaline Holy City is located. The Duan clan, as one of the 3 semi-sacred forces in the Tourmaline Holy City, even if it is just a stronghold for recruiting talents, it occupies a very large area, just like a family residence. In fact, the non-semi-saint family forces in the Tourmaline Holy City, the family resident in the Tourmaline Holy City, are at most as large as this. Your Excellency, are you looking for someone? At the gate, one of the guards at the gate looked at Duan Ling Tian, who was headed by him, and asked politely. After all, they are members of a big family such as the Duan family. I know that many people seem to be ordinary, but in fact have a strong background and cannot be provoked, so they are a little polite when they meet. In doing so, you can ensure that you will not inadvertently offend anyone. No. Duan Ling Tian shook his head, looked at the person in front of him, and said with a slight smile. I heard that the Duan family's stronghold in the Tourmaline Holy City is to recruit talents. I came here to join the Duan family. Hearing Duan Lingshan's intention to come, the people of the Duan clan at the gate suddenly became a lot more polite. So you are here for this. Your Excellency, please come in, and I will take you to the assessment site set up by our Duan clan for worship. As long as you can pass the assessment, you can join our Duan clan. Although the person in front of him looked young, he did not dare to underestimate it. Who knows if this young skin is an old antique that has lived for tens of thousands of years. Under the leadership of the other party, Duan Ling Tian took Tan Xueqi into the stronghold of the Duan family in the Tourmaline Holy City. After entering the door, you can see the layout inside. It is like a small family residence, with many rockeries and lush greenery. The corridors along the way are also antique, full of low-key luxury. Seemingly seeing Duan Lingshan's surprise, the members of the Duan clan who led the way in front of them smiled slightly and said, This stronghold of our Duan clan used to be the clan residence of a big family. After that clan was wiped out, this place was idle for a while, and was finally asked by our patriarch to serve as a stronghold. The people of the Duan clan put it lightly, but Duan Ling Tian knew that such a good place must have many people's eyes, and the Duan clan's ability to win it is enough to show its strong strength and deterrence. Your Mightiness. Suddenly, the people of the Duan clan slowed down a bit. The person in charge of this stronghold of our Duan clan is an elder of the law enforcement hall of our Duan clan, and he has a bad temper. You met him, but don't be polite. He is the most powerful person who doesn't know how high the sky is. He is a Zeon. Under normal circumstances, he would not take the initiative to remind people who want to join the Duan clan. The reason why he took the initiative to remind him was that he felt that the other party seemed easygoing and unassuming, and not to mention the specific strength, just this easygoing, it was worth reminding him a thing or two. Thank you for reminding. Duan Ling Tian repeatedly thanked him. My name is Duan Xiao. What is your name? Asked the guide. Duan Ling Tian. And Duan Ling Tian didn't hide his identity this time. With his current strength, if he joins the Duan clan, even if all the treasures in his hands are exposed, there will be very few people who dare to attack him. Unless the Duan clan attacked him. However, this is unlikely. After all, even if the Duan clan is tough, he has a self-destruction ring. As long as he is not willing, he would rather die. No one can get those treasures in his hands. Moreover, the Duan clan is a semi-sacred force after all, and it is definitely impossible to worship the difficult clan because of that little treasure, and it is also a worshipping close to the invincible superior god. Through Tan Xiateng's mouth, Duan Ling Tian has realized that if he joins the Duan clan, he will be greatly respected and valued. Now, Duan Ling Tian not only did not hide his real name, but even his face was restored to its original state, no longer covering up in the slightest, and completely showing his true face. Hiding in the past was entirely because of lack of strength. And now there is no need to do that. Your surname is also Duan? Duan Xiao was stunned for a moment, then laughed. It seems that your excellency has a fate with our Duan clan. Or is it because your surname is Duan that you chose our Duan clan? There's a reason for that. Duan Ling Tian nodded. In fact, this did account for a large part of the reason. Under the leadership of Duan Xiao, Duan Ling Tian and Tan Xiuting came to the backyard, and after Duan Xiao said hello, Duan Ling Tian and Tan Xiuting followed another person and walked into a vast mansion in the backyard. Brother Ling Tian, I hope to see you in the clan in the future. Before parting, Duan Xiao said to Duan Ling Tian with a smile. Although he guards the gate at the Duan family's stronghold in the Tourmaline Holy City, his own strength is not bad. He is also a high-ranking god. In the Duan family, the weaker worshippers are not much stronger than him. Therefore, in the face of a character who may become a new worship, he does not feel that there is any identity gap between himself and the other party. Must. Duan Ling Tian also responded through voice transmission, and he also had a good impression of this enthusiastic disciple of the Duan clan. The person who took over and led the way in the back seemed a lot indifferent, without any unnecessary nonsense, and took Duan Ling Tian and Tan Xiuting directly into the mansion in front of him. Inside the Fuzhong mansion, in the spacious courtyard, an old man who was over a decade old was sitting at a stone table drinking tea. Elder, someone brought it. The person leading the way said respectfully to the old man. As for the old man, as early as the moment Duan Ling Tian stepped into the stronghold, he actually passed Duan Xiao's communication and knew that such a person was going to participate in the Duan clan's recruitment assessment. At this point it didn't seem surprising. The old man stood up, his body that seemed a little thin, but at this moment, it gave people a sense of strength, as if there were thousands of majestic momentum swept out of him. That is, in this moment, Duan Ling Tian can confirm that the other party is a supreme power. The strong momentum swept in, Tan Xiateng's complexion changed greatly, his body trembled slightly, and the corners of his mouth bleed. On the other hand, Duan Ling Tian stood there as if nothing had happened, as if he had not been affected in any way. Even as a fierce aura rose from his body, Tan Xiateng's complexion also recovered a lot. Obviously the pressure was caused by Duan Ling Tian resolved. What a powerful swordsmanship. The old man at this time also put away his aura, staring at Duan Ling Tian with shining eyes, his heart trembled. What's the situation? Yesterday, I just received a message from the Patriarch, asking him to help collect non-Xians who have mastered the 4th rank of Kendo. Today, I took the initiative to send one to my door. His swordsmanship is definitely above the 4th rank. As for the specific order, we will have to let him try it before we know. Chapter 4491. Don't resist. Follow me into my artifact space. In the Tourmaline Holy City, within the Duan clan's recruitment stronghold, the person in charge of the stronghold is also the elder of the Duan clan's law enforcement hall. Before he spoke loudly, he also took out a space artifact. Then, he took Duan Ling Tian into the artifact space. During this process, Duan Ling Tian had no intention of resisting, nor did he intend to resist. Don't say it's just the artifact space. He can come out at any time. It is the small world inside the opponent's body, and he is not afraid to enter. After all, with the strength of the opponent's supreme power, if you really want to be detrimental to him, you don't need to be so troublesome at all. You can obliterate him face to face. Outside. Seeing that his young master disappeared in front of the Duan clan elders, leaving a gourd-shaped artifact alone on the table not far away, Tan Xiuting waited calmly. It is not difficult for him to guess the next result. The Duan clan will be very happy to accept his young master as the offering of the Duan clan. After all, although the Duan clan has the existence of an invincible superior god, but the Duan clan may not have the strength like his young master. Within the artifact space, the elders of the Duan clan did not say a word, and shot directly at Duan Lingtian. A majestic force swept out and rushed towards Duan Lingtian, like 1,000 troops. You do your best to resist my offensive and let me see your true strength. Just from the test outside, he had already seen that the young man in purple clothed in front of him had the strength close to the invincible upper god, but at what level, he was not sure. After all, the existences that are close to the invincible upper gods are also divided into 3, 6 and 9. As for Duan Lingtian, when he heard the other party's words, he didn't hold back any longer. As soon as he made a move, it was full force. The space law of the small perfection realm was displayed, and the divine power was turbulent. With the swordsmanship of the full force shot, it broke the opponent's offensive like a destructive force. Even completely suppressed the opponent's offensive. Of course, the reason why this step can be achieved is entirely because the other party is far from doing his best. As early as when the opponent shot, Duan Lingtian saw that the opponent controlled the power of his shot to a level that was comparable to the existence of an invincible superior god. This level of strength is far inferior to him. This kind of existence that is close to the invincible upper god, in his hands, he can't even make 10 moves. If there is no special means of escape, he is sure to kill it. Call out. Duan Lingshan's power converged into a sword beam and swept out. His mighty power made the Duan clan elders look horrified, and the depths of their eyes were filled with disbelief. Obviously, he never imagined that the youth in purple clothes in front of him had such a powerful strength. This strength, I am afraid that it can be compared with the top figures under the Bibo Tianfu Xianqiang and the invincible superior god Venerable. He was shocked. In their Duan clan, there have been such powerful figures in history, but not many. Only a few people have appeared in the history of millions of years. In modern times, there has never been such a genius. And now, such a genius is standing in front of him, and he is conducting the assessment of their Duan clan recruiting talents. His swordsmanship has reached the 6th level. Moreover, it is definitely the 6th order peak. At the same time, in addition to being shocked by the strength of the opponent, the elders of this clan were also very horrified by Duan Lingshan's swordsmanship. The 6th stage of Kendo. It is all the worlds and the 4 realms of the 6th stage. Looking at the places beyond the realm, and even the 10,000 realms as far as he knows, there are not more than 100 people. In the land outside the world, and even in the contemporary world, under the strongest, he has not heard that anyone has mastered the 4 realms of heaven and earth and has reached the 6th stage. The 6th stage of Kendo. Looking at the contemporary era, including the most powerful, there are probably no more than 5 people who have mastered it. At least, I haven't heard of any existence under the saint who mastered it. The 6th stage of Kendo. Saint. Saints, without exception, all have the cultivation of the strongest, and have mastered a certain law to the realm of great perfection. If there are no other special means, at least one of the 4 ways of heaven and earth has been mastered to the 6th stage. And these thoughts of the elders of the Duan clan actually happened in a flash. When he noticed that Duan Lingshan's offensive had suppressed his own offensive, and when the pavement hit, the power in his body suddenly swept over his body without reservation, easily blocking Duan Lingshan's offensive. Although Duan Lingshan's offensive was strong, it fell on the elders of the Duan clan without causing any waves, as if it were completely insignificant. At the same time, the elders of the Duan clan also completely recovered. When he looked at Duan Lingtian again, his originally stiff and serious face revealed a smile that was uglier than crying. Little brother, I am the 2nd elder of the Duan family law enforcement hall Duan Tianhong, but I don't know what you call it. It was also because there were no other members of the Duan clan at the scene. Otherwise, seeing this dignified appearance of Tianhong, he would definitely be shocked to drop his jaw. Because, Duan Tianhong, who is usually in front of the Duan clan's patriarch, rarely does this, let alone in front of other people. Among the Duan clan, I am afraid that only the semi-sage ancestor appeared. It is possible to make Duan Tianhong so enthusiastic. Duan Lingtian, I have seen Elder Tianhong. As for Duan Lingtian, he was not surprised by the sudden change in Duan Tianhong's attitude, because in his opinion, it was expected. His current strength, let alone the semi-sacred power, is the power of the saints, and he will also receive a lot of attention and even attention. Your surname is Duan too? Immediately, the smile on Duan Tianhong's face became brighter. Of course, in Duan Lingshan's eyes, it was even more ugly. Then you really have a fate with our Duan clan. With your strength, it is more than enough to join our Duan clan as an offering. If it becomes a big worship directly, no one will have a second opinion. Before Duan Ling Tian came, he had also heard about the big offering of the Duan clan. It was the most powerful being in the offering, and it was an honor that could only be obtained. As for the strongest people entering the Duan clan, they do not become worshippers, but become protectors. Only outsiders under Xian who enter the Duan clan are enshrined. Go. I'll take you back to our Duan clan to see the patriarch. Duan Tianhong seemed a little impatient, as if he was afraid that Duan Ling Tian would suddenly regret it and did not intend to join their Duan clan again. Then I will trouble Elder Tianhong. Duan Ling Tian continued speaking. No trouble, just a small matter. Duan Tianhong waved his hand. Let's not mention your surname Duan. You are related to our Duan clan. If you say that your name contains the word, then it is also related to me, Duan Tianhong. Since we are so predestined, we don't need to do it again. Such a courtesy. If you don't dislike it, you can just call me brother in private. Although he is not sure of the specific age of the person in front of him, he can still faintly perceive that the other party is definitely not old. It should not exceed 30,000 years old. Moreover, the people who can reach this stage are basically geniuses, and there are very few underachievers who are over 30,000 years old. The person outside, since he is by your side, come with us to see the patriarch. After leaving the artifact space, Duan Tianhong, who didn't even look at Tan Xiaoting in the first place, also rarely nodded and smiled at Tan Xiaoting. Although it was only a short smile, it still made the person who brought Duan Ling Tian and the two here look horrified. Who can tell him what's going on? Elder Duan Tianhong, who has always had a coffin face, turned out to be laughed. Chapter 4492. Duan Ling Tian took Tan Xiaoting, followed behind Duan Tianhong, and went to the Duan family's residence outside the Tourmaline Holy City. Along the way, Duan Tianhong enthusiastically introduced the Tourmaline Holy City to Duan Ling Tian, as well as the various industries of the Duan family in the Tourmaline Holy City, and bluntly said that after Duan Ling Tian became the enshrined of the Duan family, after the Duan family's industry consumption in the Tourmaline Holy City, there will be huge discounts just by showing the identity token. At the same time, he also speculated on the origin of Duan Ling Tian, and after learning that Duan Ling Tian came from Wanjia, he became more enthusiastic. 10,000 worlds monk. Such a character is like water without a source and rootless grass in the outside world. Under the same conditions, any force in the outside world is more inclined to the monks of the world. Wanjia cultivator, since he chose to leave Wanjia and went to a place outside the realm to find a place for power, and no longer act as a loose cultivator, it means that he has no worries in Wanjia. Such people are more stable. And through Duan Tianhong's mouth, Duan Ling Tian also has a further understanding of the Duan clan, knowing that within the Duan clan, under the semi-sage powerhouse, there are more than a dozen Xians. And among the dozen or so Xians, there are several who are close to the semi-sacred existence. It is the contemporary patriarch of the Duan clan, and that is also a very powerful superpower. Half-saint, that is, a half-step world-respected powerhouse. There is also a realm title. The 5th level superpower? Also called the 5th stage superpower? It was also through Duan Tianhong's mouth that Duan Ling Tian knew for the first time that among the supreme powers, there were also distinct power classes, and for a while he had a further in-depth understanding of the supreme powers. You must know that although he also knew that the strongest were strong and weak, he didn't know how to distinguish them. Of course, in front of Duan Tianhong, he did not explicitly say that he did not know these power classes of the strongest, but just quietly listened to Duan Tianhong's introduction. My strength among the top powerhouses in the Duan clan can only be considered average, and it's not long after I entered the second-tier powerhouse. Our patriarch is at the 3rd rank of Xian, just like the elders of our law enforcement hall. In the introduction, Duan Tianhong also brought Duan Ling Tian to the residence of the Duan family outside the Tourmaline Holy City, which is like a paradise. Found here. The entire station of the Duan clan was surrounded by a maze. As for the reason, Duan Ling Tian is not difficult to guess. It must be because he does not want to be easily disturbed by outsiders. Powerful existences, even if they are just passing by, can find the Duan clan's residence, while the average strength is difficult to find. A non-powerful person like Duan Ling Tian is simply unable to see through the numerous confusions outside the Duan clan. Although the Duan family is not afraid of outsiders, it is naturally annoying after being disturbed for a long time. These were all learned by Duan Ling Tian from Duan Tianhong. Elder Tianhong. Duan Tianhong brought Duan Ling Tian and Tan Xiuting into the residence of the Duan clan. And wherever they went, everyone from the Duan clan who saw Duan Tianhong respectfully saluted Duan Tianhong. There were also some young-looking members of the Duan clan, who looked at Duan Ling Tian and Tan Xiuting curiously, but did not speak clearly. However, in the dark, voice transmission is constantly communicating. The tone of communication, with bursts of surprise. Who are these two people? Judging from the appearance of Elder Tianhong, he seems to be very polite to them. Didn't Elder Tianhong be on duty recently at the Tourmaline Holy City recruiting stronghold? He's bringing people back now, presumably to join our Duan clans. If he can bring people over in person, it shows that the opponent's strength is not bad. I really can't see how powerful those two people are. However, if Elder Tianhong can personally lead the way, and he is so enthusiastic, at least it is close to the existence of the invincible superior god. In the past, it's not that there were no existences close to the invincible superior god venerable into our Duan clan. But, those people, I have never heard that Elder Tianhong brought them here in person when he was on duty. Could it be that they are the strongest? Or, one of them is the strongest? The discussions of the Duan clan were conducted by voice transmission, so Duan Ling Tian naturally couldn't hear them. The current Duan Ling Tian is taking Tan Xiuting, led by Duan Tianhong, the second elder of the Duan clan law enforcement hall, to the reception hall of the Duan clan, where he meets the patriarch of the Duan clan. Duan Bing, the patriarch of the Duan clan, had been waiting in the hall for a long time. Patriarch. Duan Tianhong brought Duan Ling Tian outside the gate of the reception hall, stopped and greeted respectfully inside. Come in. A loud voice came from the hall. Immediately following, Duan Tianhong smiled and greeted Duan Ling Tian to enter together, followed by Tan Xiuting. In the reception hall, Duan Ling Tian saw Duan Bing, the patriarch of the Duan clan, and he had already learned about the name of Duan Bing on the way. After entering, he took Tan Xiuting and bowed slightly to Duan Bing. I have seen Patriarch Duan. Duan Bing, on the other hand, looked at Duan Ling Tian with a bright smile on his face. Are you Duan Ling Tian? Elder Tianhong has already sent a message to me, saying that you are an existence close to the invincible superior god, and you have mastered the 6th stage of Kendoch. I will naturally not question the vision of Elder Tianhong. However, this is the first time I heard that there are non-Xians who have mastered the 6th stage of Kendo. But I don't know. Will Brother Ling Tian give me a lot of insight? Although he was inquiring, at the same time as the voice fell, Duan Bing, a heavy and majestic aura, had spread out, and swept the entire reception hall in a flash, and a force rushed out, protecting the entire reception hall. Duan Ling Tian heard Duan Bing's words, and felt these changes again, and his heart was suddenly speechless. You are all like this. Can I still refuse? Of course, Duan Ling Tian didn't plan to refuse at first, because he knew that only when you showed enough value would you be valued. And this time he entered the Duan clan with a purpose, and naturally he would not hide his strengths and bide his time. Without any hesitation, the next moment, Duan Lingshan's body will rise with divine power, cooperate with the power of space law in the realm of small perfection, and show the swordsmanship without reservation. Call out! An astonishing sword beam shot out from Duan Ling Tian, as if it could penetrate the heavens and the earth, but before approaching the pillars above the reception hall, it was suppressed by the power of Zhong Bing, the patriarch of the Zhong clan. Although Zhong Bing did this very easily, his gaze towards Duan Ling Tian was full of excitement. It's really the 6th stage of Kendo. And, it seems that it is not as simple as entering the 6th stage. Or Wanjia monk. This time, our Duan clan has found a treasure. Duan Bing was extremely surprised. Chapter 4493. Although it was only a brief test, Duan Bing, the patriarch of the Duan clan, has completely confirmed the strength of the person in front of him. It is definitely the kind of existence that is closest to the invincible upper god. Even the monsters of Bibo Tianfu, fighting alone, may not be able to defeat the people in front of them. I'm curious. After testing Duan Ling Tian, in addition to his surprise, Duan Bing also expressed his doubts. With your strength, let alone our Duan clan, even if you enter Bibo Tianfu, you will be greatly valued. Why did you choose our Duan clan? Duan Bing asked bluntly. As for Duan Ling Tian, when he heard Duan Bing's words, he smiled faintly. For me, it is naturally better to be able to enter the Bibo Tianfu. However, when I first arrived in the Thunder Holy Land, I am not familiar with many things, that is, there is no way to enter the Bibo Tianfu. On the contrary, the 3 semi-holy forces in the Tourmaline Holy City can enter in the Tourmaline Holy City. In addition, my surname is Duan, so I chose the Duan family. In the future, if there is a chance to enter the Bibo Tianfu, as long as the Bibo Tianfu can give me something that surpasses what I was in the Duan clan, I will also enter the Bibo Tianfu. This point before joining the Duan clan, I want to make it clear to you, Clan Chief Duan. Duan Ling Tian said something frankly. Duan Tianhong, who was on the side, showed a wry smile on his face. In addition to the wry smile, he looked at Duan Ling Tian again, with a little more appreciation. Not everyone can say this kind of thing bluntly. Even if most people stand in the other's position, they will think so. But, when they say it, it doesn't always sound so nice. Brother Ling Tian is quite honest. And Duan Bing, the patriarch of the Duan clan, didn't feel angry when he heard Duan Lingshan's words, because in his opinion, it was understandable. Say nothing else. Even some of the geniuses of his Duan clan are now in Bibo Tianfu, because what they can get when they enter Bibo Tianfu is better than staying in the Duan clan. Semi-holy power, saint power, although it sounds like there is only one class difference. But, in fact, in many ways it can be said to be worlds apart. It's a coincidence. Our Duan clan, 10 years later, will have a chance. If we can make a figure in it, Bibo Tianfu will take the initiative to throw an olive branch to you, Brother Ling Tian. Duan Bing looked at Duan Ling Tian and said with a smile. When Duan Ling Tian heard the words, his eyes were naturally bright. Entering Bibo Tianfu? For him, of course, it is a good thing. The owner is magnanimous. Duan Ling Tian slightly cupped his hands and said solemnly. Even if I, Duan Ling Tian, only stay in the Duan family for 10 years, I will definitely not forget this relationship with the Duan family. He, Duan Ling Tian, has never been an ungrateful person. Even if the Duan clan did not pay anything for him in the next 10 years, the chance and recommendation in 10 years will be worthy of his heart. If there is an opportunity in the future, it will be rewarded. After chatting a few words with Duan Ling Tian, Duan Bing asked Duan Tianhong to take Duan Ling Tian to go through the formalities of enshrining into the Duan clan. In fact, it was mainly to receive an identity token. Brother Ling Tian, after taking Duan Ling Tian to receive the enshrined identity token, Duan Tianhong took him to the place where the Duan clan worshipped and cultivated. With your strength, after becoming the enshrined of our Duan clan, it is enough to directly challenge the great worship and become a new member of our Duan clan. Great offering. Our Duan clan's current great worship is good at the law of life, and the law of life has comprehended the realm of small perfection. In addition, we have also mastered the way of devouring in the 3rd stage. The way of swallowing is also one of the 4 ways of heaven and earth. Even when Duan Ling Tian was weak in the past, when he was still in the mundane plane, he also mastered the method of swallowing. It was a method from a certain heavenly emperor of the all heavens plane, but later with the improvement of strength, the help to Duan Ling Tian became less and less, and it fell. Elder Tianhong, what is the difference between being a big worshipper of the Duan clan and ordinary worshipping? Duan Ling Tian asked curiously. There is naturally a difference, and the difference is not small. Duan Tianhong said with a smile. If you don't say anything else, just talk about the place of cultivation, it will be different. The place where our Duan clan worships and cultivates is located in one of the 9 great spiritual springs of our Duan clan, and the place of cultivation that is enshrined in great worship, the ground is right within the eye of Lingquan. Lingquan. Duan Ling Tian naturally knew that it was the liquid condensed by the spiritual energy of heaven and earth that escaped after the accumulation and transformation of the divine crystals to a certain extent. Wherever the spiritual spring is located, the cultivation environment is impeccable. As for a spiritual spring, the most exciting thing is the spring eye. The spiritual energy of the heaven and earth where the spring is located is not only liquefied, but also very viscous. For practitioners under the strongest, cultivating in it can achieve twice the result with half the effort. In addition, Duan Tianhong continued, our Duan clan, every time period, will allocate some cultivation resources to the worshippers. Among them, there are many things that make all worshippers jealous. At this time, the big offering has the right to choose, and you can choose 3 of the treasures. As for other offerings, not only can you choose after the big offering, but you can only choose 1 treasure each. In addition, Duan Tianhong also talked about some of the benefits of being a big worship, such as increased salary, different status in the Duan clan. Only one thing, Duan Ling Tian couldn't help but feel a little excited. The Duan clan makes great sacrifices. Every year, there is an opportunity to follow the semi-sacred powerhouse of the Duan clan for 3 days. During those 3 days, the semi-sacred powerhouse will do everything possible to satisfy his needs within a certain range. Some requirements. This benefit made Duan Lingshan's heart skip a beat. This place of worship. I am determined to win it. Duan Lingshan's eyes shone brightly. Soon, under the leadership of Duan Tianhong, Duan Ling Tian came to the training place arranged by the Duan clan for offering sacrifices. A place where a spiritual spring is located, and from a distance, you can see that the spiritual spring is filled with a rich mist of heaven and earth aura. Elder Tianhong, the floating hut within the eyes of Lingquan should be the place where the great worship and cultivation is now, right? Duan Lingshan's eyes were quickly attracted by Lingquan's spring eyes. What attracted him together was the floating hut in the spiritual spring. The hut stood on a small floating island and was completely filled with the thick and viscous spiritual spring in the spring. The spiritual spring also looked beautiful in the light. Fabulous. Yes. Duan Tianhong nodded. Brother Ling Tian, do you plan to challenge now, or wait for a while? There are opportunities to challenge big offerings, although every offering has it, but once it is used up, if it fails, you can only do it again. Wait 30 years before the challenge can be launched. The reason for this regulation is to prevent the great worship from being disturbed too much during cultivation. Chapter 4494. As a semi-sacred force, the Duan clan has 9 spiritual springs, and every spiritual spring is an excellent place for cultivation. And the spring eye of Lingquan is the place with the most aura of heaven and earth. Of course, although Duan Ling Tian is also full of yearning for the special spiritual spring dedicated to this clan, but compared with the other benefits of being a big sacrifice, the attractiveness of this spiritual spring is only average. Now, he has accumulated a certain amount of divine crystals in his hand. He opens up the small world in his body and absorbs the power of divine crystals to cultivate with the help of the divine tree of life. The effect is not necessarily worse than this spiritual spring. What he valued most was the opportunity for the Duan clan to enshrine and learn from the half-sage ancestors of the Duan clan. Moreover, Duan Tianhong also made it clear that while studying with the semi-sage ancestor of the Duan clan, he could even make 1 or 2 requests that the semi-sage ancestor could do. Once I become a big worshipper of the Duan clan, it also means that I can use this opportunity to let the half-sage ancestor of the Duan clan take action, and try to see if I can lift Kier's soul imprisonment. If you can successfully lift Kier's soul imprisonment, it is naturally the best. No matter how bad it is also an unexpected joy to be able to allow that strong man to delay the progress of the soul imprisonment and erosion of the soul for Kier. In fact, although he is not quite sure, Duan Ling Tian is still not very sure about the fact that the semi-sage can lift the soul imprisonment for his wife Kier. But now he has no other way to go. He wants to let the saint take action. But, easier said than done? Now, even if he wants to meet a saint, it is difficult. Saint, that is the realm powerhouse. Even in his hometown, anti-god realm, it is said that there is only one such powerhouse. Of course, this is what Duan Ling Tian has learned since he came to the outer worlds. At the same time, he has also gained a better understanding of many aspects of the anti-god realm that were previously unreachable. Anti-god realm, one of the myriad realms. Beneath the upper 3 realms, the strongest of the 10,000 realms, were the 18 middle realms, and the anti-god realm was one of them. In the 18th realm, most of them have realm powerhouses. Even if there are no real-world powerhouses, it is said that there are many powerful semi-sages sitting in town, joining forces in their own realms, with special realm power bonuses, and are not afraid of ordinary foreign realm powerhouses. Elder Tianhong, I think I will challenge this great worshipper now. Duan Ling Tian looked at Duan Tianhong and said bluntly. When Duan Tianhong heard the words, he nodded. The invitation to the war will disturb his cultivation, and even if he is in seclusion, he will be disturbed. Therefore, according to the rules of our Duan clan, if someone wakes up from a closed-door seclusion, an invitational battle will no longer be a discussion. As long as the big offering is needed, it can directly turn into a life-and-death battle. I want to make it clear to you in advance. Duan Tianhong did not doubt Duan Lingshan's strength between his words. The reason why he said this was that he hoped that Duan Ling Tian would be merciful. Brother Ling Tian, if this person wants to turn the discussion into a life-and-death battle, please be merciful. He can actually remind the other party through voice transmission, so that even if the other party is angry, he cannot turn a discussion into a life-and-death battle. But, I am afraid that the other party will not believe it. Geniuses are proud. Elder Tianhong, don't worry, I know it. Duan Ling Tian smiled lightly. If he was disturbed at the death stage, any normal person would be furious. Even he would hate the disturbed person. So, in this case he is angry and even wants to kill, he can understand it completely. Okay. Duan Tianhong nodded, and then informed Duan Ling Tian of the process of inviting the opponent to fight. As soon as Duan Tianhong's voice fell, Duan Ling Tian moved his hand, took off the identity token directly, and poured a divine power into it, pulling the hidden power aura in the token, and swept the spiritual spring. In the next moment, the spring's eyes shook, and the liquefied spiritual energy of the sky and the earth in the floating hut was also turbulent, and then collapsed everywhere, causing the floating hut to completely lose the shroud of the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. After the disintegration of the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, after disintegrating, there are signs of gathering again. However, at this moment, an angry roar could be heard from the floating hut. Whoever challenges me when I am in seclusion, I will kill you. This challenge is no longer a competition, but a life-and-death battle. At the same time as the voice fell, a sturdy young man with thunder and lightning all over his body walked out of the floating hut. His resolute and square face was full of anger. He is closing in. Although this time of death, his strength may not be greatly improved. However, being disturbed at a critical moment undoubtedly made him extremely annoyed. Boom. In the midst of the thunder and lightning turmoil, the sturdy young man who walked out of the floating hut rose from the sky, and in a blink of an eye, he arrived in the void on the same height as Duan Ling Tian and Duan Tianhong. Elder Tianhong. The sturdy young man looked at Duan Tianhong for the first time, bowed his hand slightly, and clearly tried to suppress his anger in his tone. Is this person new? Qin worships. Duan Tianhong looked at the sturdy young man, sighed, and then said with a voice transmission, "You are not the opponent of this new enshrinement. His strength, under the invincible superior god, there should be almost no one who can defeat him. At least, in the Leixing territory, even the strongest people under the so-called invincible superior god venerable, the strength is at most comparable to him." Duan Tianhong's words can be said to be very straightforward. However, when the sturdy young man heard the words, he sneered, didn't believe it at all, and even spoke out bluntly, without a vague response to Duan Tianhong. "Elder Tianhong, even if you want to speak for him, you don't need to be so exaggerated. If there is such a strength, I don't think he will come to the Duan clan." Obviously, this surname Qin worshipped and did not believe Duan Tianhong's words. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At the same time, one after another silhouettes rose up from the floating cabins on the islands in the sky where Lingquan was located. They were the other enshrines of the Duan clan. Someone challenged to worship Qin Uni? New here. It must be a newcomer. Among us, even the Yuan Zong whose strength is the closest to the great worship, even if there is a breakthrough, I am afraid that it is at most comparable to Qin Zong, and it is almost impossible to beat him. Moreover, Yuan Zong to worship, I will definitely not challenge Qin Zong when he is in seclusion, and even if he wants to challenge him, he will definitely choose a time when Qin Zong is not in retreat. Listen to Qin Feng's words. Elder Tianhong, the voice transmission told him that the newcomer is very strong? If Qin Feng doesn't think the other party really has that strength, will he still come to the Duan family? Elder Tianhong, won't tell Qin worship that this person's strength is comparable to those of us who are invincible under the invincible superior gods in the Thunder Saint realm? If so, it's too outrageous. It's impossible for such an existence to come to our Duan clan, right? A group of Duan clan worshippers talked a lot, and they were all guessing how Duan Tianhong described the strength of the new worshipper when he transmitted his voice to Qin Uni. At the same time, all eyes fell on Duan Ling Tian. Qin worships. After Duan Tianhong was speechless for a while, he sighed, then stepped aside, looked at Duan Ling Tian and said, "Brother Ling Tian, please be merciful." In a word, not only did a group of Duan clan worship in disbelief, but Qin Yunyi's face turned slightly red, feeling that he was being looked down upon. What made him almost vomit blood from anger was that the new worshipper, the young man dressed in purple, after hearing Duan Tianhong's words, nodded solemnly. "Elder Tianhong, don't worry, I don't. We'll kill him." Tan Xiuting also stepped aside at this time, looking at the eyes of the Duan clan's great worship, with a vague sense of pity. In the existence close to the invincible superior god, his young master is definitely an existence that can be called invincible. The strength of this clan's big offering may be all right, even surpassing the existence of the invincible upper gods. But, in front of his young master, it is definitely not enough to see. Insanity! Qin Yuni was furious and took a step forward abruptly. Thunder and lightning rose from his body, the surrounding space oscillated, and tiny cracks in the space were looming. A powerful momentum also swept out of him, spreading out, with a mighty momentum. Today, as long as your strength is not as good as mine, you will die. Qin Yuni stared at Duan Lingshan's eyes, full of icy killing intent, choosing someone to devour. The surrounding group of the Duan clan worshipped, and they all took a breath of air at this time. They know that this great worshipper is really angry. They have worked with this great worshipper for many years, and this is the first time they have seen each other so angry. Chapter 4495. Seeing the aggressive Duan clan worshipping Qin Yuni in front of him, Duan Lingshan's expression was extremely calm. Although, the strength of this Qin Yuni is obviously stronger than that of any other existence that is close to the invincible high-ranking gods except Linghu Yundi. However, for him now, it is no different from an existence that is generally close to an invincible upper god. His current strength has reached another level. Although it still hasn't gotten rid of the category of close to the invincible upper gods, it is not on the same level as other people in this category. Duan Lingshan's calm face and indifferent eyes all fell into the eyes of Qin Yuni, the great worshipper of the Duan clan, making his complexion even more gloomy. The terrifying anger was also completely vented in an instant. Die! Qin Yuni let out a loud roar, and then the whole person, like an angry tiger, rushed towards Duan Lingtian. A terrifying thunder and lightning storm wrapped around him, and he also had a 9-foot-long spear in his hand, and the whole body was surrounded by thunder and lightning. Shoot! Whoosh! Qin Yuni shook the spear in his hand, and his body was wrapped in blood, and even the power of blood was used by him at this moment, without any reservation. Moreover, his spear stabbed out so powerfully that it even caused the space to collapse, and a hideous space crack appeared, which also contained a hint of illegality. The way to control? At this moment, Duan Lingtian can also confirm that the Duan clan in front of him, who worships Qin Yuni, has not only mastered the thunder law of the small perfection realm, the power of the bloodline is tyrannical, but also has mastered a good way of control. With one shot, the thunder and lightning followed. At this moment, Qin Yuni seemed to have transformed into a majestic god of war, invincible and irresistible. As soon as he made a move, it was all his strength, as if he wanted to meet Duan Lingtian, an outsider who challenged his position of great worship, face to face. The strength of the big offering is still as strong as ever. It's the first time I've seen a great worshipper use such a powerful force. Even when he challenged the last great worshipper in the past, it was far worse than it is now. This is the true strength of the big offering, isn't it? Qin Yuni's action caused an uproar among the surrounding members of the Duan clan. Some of them had never even seen Qin Yuni's action. This was the first time. And some people, although they have seen Qin Yuni take action, but the strength that Qin Yuni showed in the past is far less than now. This Qin Yuni. Even Duan Tianhong, who was standing beside him, was a little surprised. Did he hide something in the past, or has he made great progress recently? He actually doesn't know much about Qin Yuni. As for Qin Yuni's strength in the past, he only knew it from other people, and he had never seen it with his own eyes, but the strength of Qin Yuni that he heard about was definitely not as strong as it is now. In our Duan clan, if you don't count this Lingtian brother who just joined our Duan clan, under the supreme power, there are probably only 2 people who can compete with Qin Yuni at most. Duan Tianhong was quiet in his heart. In the Duan clan, although there is no invincible high-ranking god venerable, nor Duan Lingshan's existence close to the invincible high-ranking god venerable, there are still 2 heavens chosen ones. Their strength is also top-notch among the existences that are close to the invincible upper gods. If Duan Lingshan's level is considered the first echelon, then the 2 of them are definitely the best in the second echelon. In the past, in his eyes, although the big worship Qin Yuni was strong, he barely entered the second echelon. But today, after seeing Qin Yuni's strength, he realized that Qin Yuni's strength is no better than that of the 2 gods in the Duan clan. The pride is weak. This Qin Yuni's strength is really good. Facing the menacing Qin Yuni who was like a of war, Duan Lingtian sighed inwardly. If it had been some time ago before the breakthrough, I might not have been his opponent. However now, it can only be counted as unlucky for him. Qin Yuni's strength is the most powerful being close to the invincible superior among the people he has contacted so far who have shown strength in front of him. As for the Linghu Yundi of the Linghu family of the heavenly sect in the Pingxiong realm, Although he was recognized as the first person under the invincible superior in the Pingxiong realm, he had never seen the opponent make a move, and he did not know how strong the opponent was. However, judging from what he knew, Ling Hu Yunde's strength was definitely stronger than Qin Yuni in front of him, and even compared with him now, it was highly likely that he was on par with him. Call out! In the face of the menacing Qin Yuni, Duan Lingshan's divine power that was ready to go, also swept out in an instant like a violent storm, and the colorful sword light shot out from the palm of his hand, and then turned into a huge 7-color lightsaber, carrying the raging and violent space force directly attacked Qin Yuni. Without too many bells and whistles, Duan Ling Tian stood on the spot. His divine power swept through, the power of space law surged, and with his swordsmanship, he directly met Qin Yuni. At this moment, he didn't even have the thought of summoning the space law clone. Or, in his opinion, Qin Yuni is not qualified to let him summon the space law clone. You must know that for him now, the avatar of the law corresponding to the law that has not yet entered the realm of small perfection may not be helpful in actual combat, but the avatar of the space law corresponding to the law of space entering the realm of small perfection, even if he does not have 10 into strength and at least 80%. After all, the space law clone can also use his kendo power. Today, even if my deity didn't make a move, but the space law clone made a move, it's not difficult to win this Qin Yuni. But I'm new here, and I don't plan to hide anymore. Now, naturally, the stronger the strength, the better. In this way, the Duan clan can further see my value. My Duan Lingshan's worth, call out. The colorful swords flashed out, and with a clean sword, they met the menacing Qin Yuni. In the next moment, as the colorful sword beams and Qin Yuni's offensive collided, a loud bang was also spread out at the right time, and the terrifying power was raging in all directions. If Duan Tianhong on the side hadn't acted in time to isolate the remaining power, the Duan family's spiritual spring would never have been preserved. Because Lingquan is a place of practice, and the arrangement of defensive formations will interfere with the flow of spiritual energy in the world. So in any place where the Duan clan is located, there is no defensive formation to protect the spiritual spring alone. Boom! Boom! In the space isolated by Duan Tianhong, the forces were constantly colliding, and the figures of Duan Lingtian and Qin Yuni were also shrouded in the rays of light from the colliding forces. However, the beginning of the collision was a little louder. After the mighty momentum passed, it quickly calmed down, and the light in the space isolated by Duan Tianhong was also getting dimmer. Soon, 2 figures appeared in front of everyone. The young man dressed in purple stood there unscathed, and even his robes did not even have the slightest wrinkle, as if he was not the one who experienced the violent force just now. Look at the other side. This. A group of worshippers from the Duan clan were all dumbfounded, their eyes filled with astonishment and disbelief. Under their eyes, Qin Yuni was in a state of embarrassment. His robe was torn all over, blood was dripping, his flesh was blurred, and even no one could make a sound. Space below. I do not know life and death. Congratulations on the big offering. It wasn't until Duan Tianhong's voice came, and the worship of the Duan clan, that he came back to his senses and looked at the purple figure again, becoming more and more awe-inspiring. I have seen a big offering. Everyone bowed and saluted. The person in front of him is the new worship of their Duan clan. A more powerful worshipper. With just one sword, the former great worship was defeated. Chapter 4496. Duan Lingtian just joined the new worship of the Duan clan. On the first day of joining the Duan clan, he defeated the Duan clan to worship Qin Yuni and became the new worship of the Duan clan. Duan Lingtian, a high-ranking who comprehended the laws of space to the realm of small perfection, defeated Qin Yuni face-to-face with his amazing swordsmanship. Duan Lingshan's swordsmanship is suspected to be above the 5th rank. The second day after coming to the Duan clan, the name Duan Lingtian spread not only among the Duan clan, but even in the Tourmaline Holy City. Moreover, the more and more outrageous. Have you heard? The Duan clan's newly promoted consecration, named Duan Lingtian, just arrived in the Duan clan, and defeated the Duan clan with a sword before the consecration Qin Yuni. It is said that he realized the law of space to the great perfection realm, is an invincible upper god. Really or not? How did I hear that his space law was just entering the realm of small perfection, but it was swordsmanship, and he realized the realm of myth of the 7th order, so he has the strength of the invincible superior god. What you said is not right. What I heard is, he is a strong man who has comprehended the swordsmanship to the 8th order legendary realm, And the law of space has also comprehended the realm of great perfection. Among the invincible superior gods is also an invincible existence. In the Tourmaline Holy City, the rumors about Duan Ling Tian became more and more outrageous. Later, some people said that the newly promoted Duan clan worshipped Duan Ling Tian and looked beyond the world, and even the world. They were called the strongest under the strongest and invincible under the strong. Duan Ling Tian returned to the Tourmaline Holy City to hang out on the second day when he arrived at the Duan family's residence. When he heard these rumors, he was speechless. This person from the Tourmaline Holy City is really able to pass on it, dare to pass it on. While Duan Ling Tian was speechless, he couldn't help shaking his head. The current Duan Ling Tian is walking with Tan Xueqi on the streets of the Tourmaline Holy City. Before entering the Duan clan, he had not visited the Tourmaline Holy City well. In the Duan family's residence, there are many elders of the Duan family. When they learned that their family had come to worship such a powerful person, they all came to the door and wanted to get acquainted with Duan Ling Tian. However, because Duan Ling Tian went out early in the morning, they all fluttered. When rumors were flying in the Tourmaline Holy City, the other two semi-holy forces in the Tourmaline Holy City also received news from the Duan family. Of course, the version they know is the real version. On the Duan clan, the action is really fast. How long has it been since the envoys from Bibo Tianfu came, and they found such a genius who is good at swordsmanship? The Yuan clan, as one of the three semi-sacred forces in the Tourmaline Holy City, is not weaker than the Duan clan. Some time ago, the Yuan clan also received an invitation from the Bibo Tianfu, inviting the Yuan clan to send them to comprehend the fourth rank of Kendo. The existence under the strong Xian, go to the return to the ruins found in the Bibo Tianfu. However, because there is a person in the Yuan clan who has comprehended the fourth rank of Kendo, and is close to the existence of an invincible superior god, so he is not in a hurry. There is an advantage over there. Unexpectedly, within 2 days, the Duan clan recruited a genius who mastered the fifth order swordsmanship and comprehended the space law, one of the four supreme laws, to the realm of small perfection. This time, the Yuan clan not only had no advantages, but even fell into a disadvantage. Second elder. Third elder. The two of you, leave the Tourmaline Holy City immediately, and look around for strong people who meet the requirements, and strive to find a few more within 10 years, representing our Yuan clan who went to Bibo Tianfu to find the one. A place of return. The patriarch of the Yuan clan, while feeling the pressure, also gave orders. Wan Shenglu, the three semi-sacred forces in the Tourmaline Holy City, along with the Duan family and the Yuan family, was also not calm at this time. However, unlike the wrath of the patriarch of the Yuan clan, the head of the Wanshang building, the owner of the Wanshang building, issued orders in a calm tone, urging the Wanshang building to branch out and do everything there to excavate the Bibo Tianfu after 10 years. The powerhouse that was found in the place of return to the ruins. This time, the Yuan clan and the Duan clan walked ahead of us. However, they are clans after all, and they are deeply ingrained in the Tourmaline Holy City. In terms of external power, they are far inferior to our Wanshanglu. And this is also the confidence of the owner of Wanshang building. Wanshanglu is not a clan power, but a sect-like power mainly engaged in business. The ranks are strict. If you want to get ahead in it, you not only need to have talent and strength, but also have enough business talent. And Wanshanglis industries outside are also blooming everywhere. In terms of wealth, even the Yuan clan and the Duan clan combined are not as good as Wanshanglu. In addition, immediately investigate the newly promoted worshipper of the Duan clan to see if he really has no blood relationship with the Duan clan. If it's really not related by blood, 9 times out of 10, it's because the Duan clan also has the surname Duan, and he is given priority to join the Duan clan. He may not yet understand the strength of our Wanshang building. In this case, you can send someone to contact him to see if he can be dug into our Wanshang building. On the Wanshanglu side, not only have the external actions quickened, but many people have begun to comprehensively investigate Duan Ling Tian, the newest worshipper of the Duan clan. With the in-depth investigation of Wanshanglu, they also have a further understanding of Duan Lingshan's origin. Could it be really him? Duan Ling Tian, who had been wandering in the Tourmaline Holy City for a long time, was just about to take Tan Xueqi to leave the Tourmaline Holy City and return to the Duan family. But just before they left the city, someone stopped them. The person who stopped them was an elderly man with a medium stature and ordinary appearance, but his eyes were extraordinarily sharp. The old man was wearing a light blue robe standing there, giving people a feeling of indescribable, invisibly revealed momentum, making Tan Xiaoting short of breath. Even Duan Lingshan's pupils also suddenly shrank. The strongest. In this instant, Duan Ling Tian concluded that the person in front of him was a superpower. As for who was coming, he didn't know. However, this does not mean that he is afraid of each other. Now he is not alone. Behind him, there is the Duan clan. Even though most of the Duan clan's powerhouses are far away from the clan's residence outside the Tourmaline Holy City, there are still a few supreme powerhouses in the Tourmaline Holy City. Among them, the second elder of the Law Enforcement Hall, Duan Tianhong, who brought him back to the Duan clan yesterday. Little friend Ling Tian, the old man's Wanshang building Lu Yan. There is no malicious intent here. When Duan Ling Tian was preparing to send a message to Duan Tianhong, the old man in front of him smiled slightly and spoke very politely. At the same time, the momentum surrounding Duan Ling Tian and Tan Xiaoting disappeared at this moment. Wanshang building? Hearing the other party's words, Duan Ling Tian raised his brows. He knew that Wanshanglu was one of the 3 semi-sacred forces in the Tourmaline Holy City, and was as famous as the Duan clan. It's just that the people from Wanshanglu, what do they want him to do? Moreover, listening to the other party calling him little friend Ling Tian, he obviously knew who he was. Unlike most people in the Tourmaline Holy City, although they heard his name, they still couldn't recognize him face to face. Chapter 4497. It turned out to be Senior Lu Yan of Wanshang Building. Duan Ling Tian took a few more glances at the old man in front of him. Yesterday, after defeating Qin Yuni and officially becoming the great worshipper of the Duan clan, Duan Tianhong, the second elder of the Law Enforcement Hall of the Duan clan, did not leave in a hurry, but stayed and chatted with him for a while. It was at that time that Duan Tianhong introduced him to the other 2 semi-holy forces in the Tourmaline Holy City, Yuan family. Wanshang Building. He also introduced some important figures in these 2 semi-holy forces. Among them, Lu Yan, the deputy owner of Wanshang Building. According to Duan Tianhong, Lu Yan, the deputy owner of the Wanshang Building, is a 3rd-tier Xian. You must know that even Duan Tianhong, the second elder of the Duan family law enforcement hall, is only a 2nd-tier Xian. As for the existence of the 3rd-order Xian, it is not that Duan Ling Tian has never come into contact with him. For example, Duan Bing, the patriarch of the Duan family, is the existence of the 3rd-order Xianj. In addition, the Chiming Demon Venerable of Chiming Mountain and Chengtian Sword Situ Lei, he met in Tiansha realm should also be 3rd-order Xians according to his estimation. Little friend Ling Tian. Lu Yan looked at Duan Ling Tian with a smile on his face, a smile that made people feel like a spring breeze. This old man is here on orders. Our landlord of Wanshang Building wants to see little friend Ling Tian. But I don't know, Ling Tian little, are you willing to admire your face? As soon as Lu Yan said these words, Duan Ling Tian was shocked again. Wanshang Building owner? Yesterday, when Duan Tianhong introduced Wanshang Building to him, it was naturally impossible not to introduce the owner of Wanshang Building. The owner of Wanshang Building, named Chen Rufei, is a strong 4th-order Xian, and is also second only to the old landlord in Wanshang Building, and is recognized as the 2nd strongest in Wanshang Building. Senior Lu Yan, I have joined the Duan clan. Duan Ling Tian frowned slightly. It is not difficult for him to guess the purpose of the invitation of the landlord of Wanshang Building. It is very likely that he is also here for the return to the ruins, which will be opened 10 years later by Bibo Tianfu, and wants to let himself act on behalf of Wanshang Building. However, now that he has joined the Duan clan, it is naturally impossible for him to have anything to do with Wanshanglu. Next, even if he wants to join any forces, he must give priority to the saints. Elder Tianhong. At the same time, without any hesitation, Duan Ling Tian directly sent a summons to Duan Tianhong, the second elder of the Duan family law enforcement hall, informing him of his current experience. Now what he is facing is also the existence of the 3rd-order Xian. If he really wants to be detrimental to him, he may have to die in a blink of an eye. Of course, this possibility is very small. After all, killing oneself, for the other party, has only disadvantages and no benefits. However, Duan Ling Tian still did not dare to take risks. In this world, there is no shortage of people who are not good for oneself, so there is no need to risk his own life. I'm not malicious. Lu Yan also found out Duan Lingshan's message, and shook his head with his face unchanged. We at Wanshanglu already know that little friend Ling Tian has joined the Duan clan. Little friend, you don't need to be so wary of me, Beware of one commercial building. At the same time, Duan Tianhong, who received Duan Lingshan's message, was drinking tea quietly there. After receiving the message, he suddenly stood up and disappeared directly in place. One after another, he passed it on, and it spread to the various industries of the Duan family in the Tourmaline Holy City. These industries, without exception, all have the most powerful people of the Duan clan in charge. Soon, Duan Tianhong brought the other 4 supreme powers of the Duan clan to the scene, stood in front of Duan Lingtian, and protected Duan Lingtian behind him. At the same time, he stared at Liu Yan eagerly. Liu Deputy Landlord, Lingtian's offering is already a big offering of our Duan clan. Yu Wansheng Building. Do you still want to dig a wall? Duan Tianhong stared at Liu Yan and asked in a bad tone. Liu Yan went to Duan Lingtian. He didn't have to guess what the purpose was. It must be Wan Shanglu who wanted to win over their Duan clan, a newcomer to worship. After all, the upper-level gods who master the 6th order kendo and the space law of the small perfection, such an existence, any semi-holy force can break the head. This time, their Duan clan took advantage of the surname, and the other party took the initiative to find their Duan clan. Otherwise, in terms of conditions and treatment, their Duan clan really can't compare to the power of Wan Shanglu. Duan Tianhong. Liu Yan glanced at Duan Tianhong lightly, obviously knowing Duan Tianhong. Good birds choose wood to live in. This sentence has been the supreme truth since ancient times. Little friend Ling Tian just joined your Duan clan yesterday, and what you have enjoyed so far is just a false title for a big offering. Haven't you taken the real benefits of your Duan clan yet? Even if we take it, our Wan Shanglu can represent little friend Ling Tian and return the double gift from your Duan family. After Liu Yan's remarks, he had the demeanor of him not bad for money. But in fact, the Wansheng building behind him is indeed not bad for this extraneous thing. If they can pay for something in exchange for the participation of the youth in purple, they will make a lot of money in Wanshenglu. Liu Yan's remarks also made Duan Tianhong's faces change with anger. They never thought that Liu Yan directly admitted that he was digging the corner of their Duan clan. This is tantamount to hitting their Duan clan in the face. Liu Yan, do you think our Duan clan is easy to deceive? Beside Duan Tianhong, another Xian from the Duan clan, with a gloomy expression and cold eyes like a sword, fell on Liu Yan, the deputy owner of the Wansheng building. However, Liu Yan ignored him at all, and looked at Duan Lingtian for himself, with a smile like a spring breeze on his face again. Little friend Lington, if you enter our Wansheng building, we can do whatever you need in Wansheng building. Do your best. Liu Yan. Duan Tianhong was furious, his aura soared, and terrifying power fluctuations spread and swept across, instantly swept away the onlookers who were gradually hiding by the roadside, and the terrifying power fluctuations oscillated, and even made the buildings on both sides of the road start to crumble. On the road, countless sand and stones rose up, and the ground began to vibrate. One after another terrifying cracks continued to spread out from the feet of Duan Tianhong, like a huge spider web. As for the other 4 Duan clan Xians beside Duan Tianhong, the power in their bodies was also ready to go, and they stared at Liu Yan. Liu Yan showed disdain. You don't think that the 5 of you are my opponents, right? A Xian Tier 2. 4 Xian Tier 1s. It is not his opponent of the Xian Tier 3 at all. Seeing that the war was about to break out, Duan Lingtian knew that at this time, it was time for him to speak up, and he couldn't help but take a step forward and stood side by side with Duan Tianhong. However, just when Duan Lingtian was about to speak, an indifferent voice came from outside the Tourmaline Holy City. They are not your Liu Yan's opponents. What about me? Duan Tianhong's aura instantly subsided a lot, and at the same time, his face showed surprise. The other 4 Xians of the Duan clan also breathed a sigh of relief at this time. This one is here, and they have nothing to do with them. Ka. As if a gust of wind blew, a figure, Feng Su Yufeng, appeared in front of everyone, standing in front of Duan Lingtian and others, and stood facing Liu Yan. Chapter 4498. The person who came was a middle-aged man with a medium build, wearing a light blue robe. After he appeared, he stared indifferently at Liu Yan, the deputy owner of Wansheng building. Elder Wu Yang. Elder Wu Yang. And with the appearance of the middle-aged man, the Xians of the Duan clan that Duan Tianhong brought, also bowed respectfully to each other. Looking at their appearance, it was obvious that they were in awe of each other from the bottom of their hearts. Elder Wu Yang? Hearing the names of several Xians of the Duan clan to the people who came, Duan Ling Tian suddenly realized that this is the chief elder of the Duan Clan Law Enforcement Hall, who controls the existence of the Duan Clan Law Enforcement Hall, Duan Wuyang. The strength is not weaker than the existence of Duan Bing, the contemporary patriarch of the Duan clan, a strong third-order Xian. Hiss, tear at the same time, the growing crowd of onlookers, many of whom had heard of Qin Wuyang, also took a deep breath. All the elders of the Law Enforcement Hall of the Duan clan are here? This is one of the pillars of the Duan clan. 1. You don't know the person across from their Duan clan, right? This one, but Lu Yan, the deputy owner of Wanshang Building, is not weaker than Duan Wuyang's existence. The Duan family and Wanshangluk. Is this going to work? I just came, who can tell me what they did? It seems to be because of that young man. I remembered it. This young man is Duan Ling Tian, the arrogant powerhouse who has been famous in the Tourmaline Holy City for the past 2 days. Duan Ling Tian? That newcomer from the Duan clan? The eyes of the onlookers quickly fell on Duan Ling Tian, making Duan Ling Tian the center of attention. In the field, Duan Wuyang and Lu Yan stood facing each other, and the eyes of the two looked at each other. At this moment, sparks seemed to collide. At the same time, the momentum of the two also soared. Duan Wuyang. Lu Yan looked at the middle-aged man in front of him, and his eyes were full of jealousy. Although he was also a third-tier Xian, he knew that this person's strength was only stronger than his own, even if the other party is the third-level Xian who was promoted after him. However, this one, but once relying on the realm of the second-order peak of Xian, and a third-order Xian battle became a tie. What the other party understands is the law of thunder that originates from the law of the 5 elements, but is separated from the law of the 5 elements, and even surpasses the law of the 5 elements. In addition, the opponent's attainments in the 4 realms of heaven and earth are not low. Just as Lu Yan and Duan Wuyang stood facing each other, their momentum collided, and they were about to explode. Humph! A cold snort seemed to come from all directions, and even alarmed the entire Tourmaline Holy City. You Wanshanglu and the Duan clan are going to fight. Go out of the city to fight. The Tourmaline Holy City is not your arena. After the cold snort, a majestic and loud voice followed and continued to spread throughout the Tourmaline Holy City. For a time, the entire Tourmaline Holy City was a sensation again. This voice seems to come from the City Lord's mansion? It's the City Lord of the Tourmaline Holy City, the head of the 7 holy sons of Bibo Tianfu in the past. I've heard of this City Lord for a long time, but he has always been a dragon without seeing the end. Usually, let alone seeing others, it is difficult to hear his voice. But I didn't expect that I heard his voice today. Sound. This former head of the 7 holy sons of Bibo Tianfu is said to be infinitely close to the semi-sacred, and only half a step away, can step into the existence of the semi-sacred realm? 3 of the 7 saints of Bibo Tianfu's generation are now semi-sacred powerhouses. If this one hadn't been accidentally injured in the return to the ruins, I'm afraid he would have been a semi-sacred. After all, he is the former Bibo, the head of the 7 holy sons of Tianfu. When the majestic and loud voice of the Lord of the Tourmaline Holy City spread throughout the Tourmaline Holy City, an old and powerful voice followed from the city. City Lord, calm down. We, Wanshanglu, have no intention of fighting with the Duan clan. Lu Yan, come back. After the voice spread and entered Lu Yan's ears, Lu Yan just took a deep look at Duan Wuyang, then turned around silently without saying anything. Since the landlords of the Wanshang building have asked him to go back, it is naturally impossible for him to stay here. In fact, when the Lord of the Tourmaline Holy City opened his mouth, he already had the intention of retreating. That one, but rarely heard any news. If that one really cares about what happened today, even Wanshanglu can't keep him. That one is not an ordinary disciple of Bibo Tianfu. The current saint of Bibo Tianfu is his master. That one is the saint disciple. And Duan Wuyang, at the same time as Lu Yan left, looked at Duan Ling Tian, with a stiff smile on his old-fashioned face. Ling Tian worships, do you want to go back to the clan with me? Trouble Elder Wuyang. Duan Ling Tian didn't plan to stay in the Tourmaline Holy City. He never imagined that because of his lack of thought, such a series of chain reactions would be triggered. Even the city owner of Tourmaline Holy City was shocked. However, even if he was given another chance to start over, he would still summon Duan Tianhong. After all, no one knows what Wanshanglu wants to do. If he really ignores the disadvantage of the Duan clan to him, his ending can be said to be dead and alive. The damage to the houses on the street here, you repair it. Before leaving with Duan Ling Tianlin, Duan Wuyang said hello to a Duan clan Xian who was beside Duan Tianhong, and the latter also immediately activated his divine power and cooperated with the unfathomable laws of the Earth system, instantly turning the ground and the scene on the spot. The collapse of the house was restored, and it looked brand new in a blink of an eye. It seems that one person is enough to catch up with 100 engineering teams. Duan Lingtian also further saw the means of the strongest. It's not just the profound meaning of the log. The most important thing is the supreme divine power of the supreme power. A high-ranking god venerable with strength like me and good at earth-based laws may be able to repair these traces. But it will never be so perfect. And it will definitely take a lot of time. At the same time, Duan Lingtian also remembered the Xian beside Duan Tianhong, a Xian who is good at the law of the earth system, and should be a first-order Xian. Of course, even if it is the first-tier Xian, Duan Lingtian can't catch up with the horse now. If he really wants to be detrimental to Duan Lingtian, a casual slap is enough to kill Duan Lingtian. Under the Xian, only the invincible superior god venerable has the opportunity to save his life under the hands of the first-order Xian. Before leaving with Duan Wuyang, Duan Lingtian also said hello to Duan Tianhong, and at the same time apologized. Elder Tianhong, this time dragged you down. That city lord, shouldn't he be angry with you afterwards? Rest assured. Duan Tianhong replied through a voice transmission. That city lord wants to live in a seclusion. Just now, we didn't really do anything. At most, he was just a warning, and he wouldn't really do anything to us. Although Duan Tianhong said this, when he mentioned the city lord of the Tourmaline Holy City, Duan Lingtian could obviously notice that his tone was slightly unnatural. Duan Lingtian took Tan Xiuting and followed Duan Wuyang out of the Tourmaline Holy City, heading towards the direction of the Duan family's residence. The group of onlookers also dispersed one after another after Duan Tianhong and the others left. When he left, he couldn't help but sigh with emotion. It seems that this newcomer from the Duan family is really not an ordinary Tianjiao. Otherwise, Wan Shanglu wouldn't be so blatantly poaching. Even if he's not an invincible high-ranking god, I'm afraid it's not much different. Otherwise, Wan Shanglu would never be like this. The Duan family, this time it's a treasure. What Duan Lingtian didn't expect was when he followed Duan Wuyang back to the Duan family's residence. In the Tourmaline Holy City, another brand new news spread widely. The Duan family's newly promoted worship is suspected to be the Tianjiao powerhouse who obtained a large number of Bliss Flower King and Beiminghan Fish King from the Tailingzhong family and the Bingdileng family in the Pingxiong realm. After the news spread, the entire Tourmaline Holy City was a sensation. There are also many people, their eyes are shining with extreme greed, as if they have seen some peerless treasure. Chapter 4499. 10 years later, 9 Bliss Flower Kings, 3 Beiminghan Fish Kings. Oh my god! That person is the one who worshipped the Duan clan. I didn't expect it. Now he joined the Duan clan, and it is not so easy to move him. Unless he wants to confront the Duan clan head-on. For the sake of the 9 Bliss Flower Kings and the 3 North Netherfrost Fish Kings, they are going head-to-head with the Duan clan who are semi-sacred forces? Whoever intends to do this will definitely have a sick mind. Although I guess that this person's background is not ordinary, but after all, I am not sure which power it is. Now, everyone knows that he has entered the Duan clan and has a backer. If you move him again, you need to consider the anger of the Duan clan. Up and down the Tourmaline Holy City, similar remarks were staged everywhere. As long as anyone with background, it is naturally impossible to take risks against Duan Lingtian, because behind them, there are also forces. If they can run away from the temple, the monks can't run away from the temple. If the Duan family can't find them, they will inevitably vent their anger to the forces behind them. Body. As for those with no background, how many people can be Duan Lingshan's opponents under those loose cultivators and the strongest? As for the cultivators of the strongest, if they dare to take action in the Tourmaline Holy City, or even around the Tourmaline Holy City, it will definitely be a mortal situation. The Duan clan has semi-sacred powerhouses. The strength of the semi-sage powerhouse is not only due to his own strength, but even to the person he is concerned about, within a certain distance. He can sense whether the other party is in danger. This kind of induction relies on the identity token of the Duan clan. Of course, in the offerings of the Duan clan, there is only the identity token of the big offering, which can bring a trace of spiritual sense from the semi-sacred powerhouse of the Duan clan. This news is likely to be spread by Wan Shanglu. In the Duan clan, it has been a few days since the last time they went out to the Tourmaline Holy City. Duan Tianhong, the second elder of the law enforcement hall, was on vacation. The first thing he did when he returned to the Duan clan was to come to Duan Lingtian and inform Duan Lingtian. Recently, there has been a lot of news about the Tourmaline Holy City. Brother Lingtian, are you really the one who plundered the Bliss Flower King and Beiminghan Fish King from the Pingxingjing clan and the Leng clan? Although the news spread around the world, Duan Tianhong had to doubt it, but before he heard Duan Lingshan's admission, he didn't dare to think that it was 100% correct. However, Duan Lingshan's appearance was too coincidence. Moreover, what Duan Lingtian is good at is the same as the one in the rumors, also the laws of space and swordsmanship. It's me. At this time, Duan Lingtian did not deny it, but admitted it directly. For this matter, he was already mentally prepared, so he was not surprised. However, as he had expected, this matter must have been discovered by the Duan clan first. After all, after he became a big worshipper of the Duan clan would definitely be able to suspect him through the clues he exposed. Body. Unexpectedly, the Duan family hadn't discovered his identity, but the people outside discovered it first. Wanshang Building. As for Wanshang Building, when Duan Lingtian returned with Duan Wuyang, the chief elder of the law enforcement hall, he also learned a lot from Duan Wuyang. He knew that it was a force with a profound background and an amazing intelligence network. According to what Duan Wuyang said, it must be Wan Shanglu who saw his value, so he wanted to dig a wall. Therefore, Lu Yen, the deputy owner of Wanshang Building, appeared in front of him. It should be the Wanshang Building. Although Duan Lingtian doesn't care about his identity being exposed, the behavior of Wan Shanglu still angered him to a certain extent. After all, he has no grievances with Wan Shanglu. It is obvious that Wan Shanglu has spread the news like this, just targeting him. Thinking of this, Duan Lingtian couldn't help but flash a cold light in his eyes. Wanshang Building. Duan Lingtian took this account down. It's really you, Brother Lingtian. Seeing Duan Lingtian admit that, although Duan Tianhong was not too surprised, he couldn't help but sigh, and at the same time comforted. Brother Lingtian, don't worry, you are now a big worship of our Duan clan, and our Duan clan wants to make you represent our Duan clan to win benefits in the return trip to Bibo Tianfu 10 years later, and it is absolutely impossible for our Duan clan to target you. Of course, even if you stay in the Duan clan afterwards, the Duan clan will not target you. This is not only my guarantee to you, but also the Patriarch's guarantee to you. Before I came here this time, I have met the Patriarch, and he asked me to tell you. As long as you are a member of the Duan clan, and as long as you don't take the initiative to provoke the sage forces like Bibo Tianfu, the Duan clan will protect you. Speaking of which, Duan Tianhong's face became straight and he said very seriously. Duan Lingtian heard the words. Even if he had guessed that the Duan clan would not target him, he couldn't help but feel warm in his heart. After chatting with Duan Lingtian for a while, Duan Tianhong decided to leave. If there is nothing else, I will not disturb you, Brother Lingtian. Next, I will take a break and stay in the family for a while. If Brother Lingtian has anything to do, as long as I help you if you are busy, come to me any time. I live in the law enforcement hall area. When Brother Lingtian arrives there, you can find out where I practice by asking someone directly. Duan Tianhong's voice fell, and he said goodbye and left. After seeing Duan Tianhong leave, Duan Lingtian returned to the floating hut at the eye of Lingquan Spring. His eyes narrowed slightly. There are still 10 years. In these 10 years, let's further understand and improve the swordsmanship. Compared to the slow progress of Kendo, the space law has no progress. It's like entering a bottleneck period. This bottleneck is not broken, and it is completely delusional to want to sprint to the realm of great perfection. Although, the bottleneck will be broken sooner or later. However, the current Duan Lingtian is not in a hurry to break it. 10 years later, it will be the day when Bibo Tianfu will open the land of return to the ruins. At that time, he will represent the Duan clan to enter the land of return to the ruins, and demand the treasures they need for Bibo Tianfu. Entering the land of return to the ruins, it is entirely based on strength to speak. Although, his strength is good now, but as far as he knows, there is an existence that is not weaker than him in Bibo Tianfu to enter the place of return to the ruins. Even, there may be an invincible upper to enter the return to the market together. Of course, according to Duan Tianhong's words, in Bibo Tianfu, there is no invincible upper on the bright side. However, The sage of Bibo Tianfu is very likely to have an invincible superior to serve him. Of course, that invincible high-ranking god venerable may not have comprehended the swordsmanship above the 4th rank. However, there is a connection between the invincible superior gods, and the other party may not be able to invite another invincible superior who is good at kendo to enter on behalf of Bibo Tianfu. Moreover, given the status and network of the saint of Bibo Tianfu in Lei Shangjing, it is not impossible to really want to seek an invincible high-ranking who is good at the 4th order swordsmanship for Bibo Tianfu. Thinking of the possibility of encountering the invincible superior in that place of return to the ruins, Duan Lingtian couldn't help but feel a lot of pressure in his heart. The invincible superior god. Now, he is far from an adversary, even if he is very close to the invincible upper god. However, if you cannot become an invincible superior in one day, you are not an invincible superior after all. Duan Lingtian retreated and cultivated, ignoring things outside the window, only showing up occasionally when the Duan clan was giving out salaries to the worshippers, and never left the Duan clan for half a step. With the passage of time, not only the Tourmaline Holy City, but also the Duan family, few people mentioned him. And those who originally spied on the treasures in Duan Lingshan's hands, saw that Duan Lingtian would not leave the Duan clan, no longer appear in the Tourmaline Holy City, and they all retreated one after another. These people are all lucky and powerful. Among them, it also includes the 2 supreme powers from the Pingxiong realm that Duan Lingtian has encountered. Lu Yifan of Shanjian Pavilion, Lin Yu of the Lin family. Forget it, let's go back. There is a high probability that this matter is over. Even if we continue to wait, it will be useless. Lin Yu sighed and said, now he has the protection of the Duan family, it is very difficult for us to succeed. Even if we can really find an opportunity to target him, put him on the line between life and death, and threaten him, he may not really be honest. Call those treasures out. As long as he delays a little, 9 out of 10 the semi-sacred powerhouses of the Duan clan will arrive. At that time, even if we don't get the things, we can only escape. In fact, Lin Yu wanted to leave as soon as he learned that the other party had entered the Duan family in the Tourmaline Holy City and became a big worshipper of the Duan family. However, Lu Yifan was not reconciled, so he stayed with Lu Yifan. A year later, he couldn't take it anymore and decided to leave. It's pointless to keep waiting. Although Lu Yifan was still unwilling, seeing that Lin Yu had made up his mind, he could only follow. Lin Yu left, and it would be meaningless for him to stay. Even if he succeeded without Lin Yu, he would not be able to perform the secret method of escape in time and space. If the half-sage makes a move under such circumstances, he will surely die. At this moment, the 2 people who were about to leave the Thunder Saint realm and return to the Pingxiong realm, but it was impossible for them to dream. The target they wanted to find had already met them before they came to the Tourmaline Holy City, and was even protected by another Xion under their noses. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, another 9 years passed. At this time, it was also the 10th year that Duan Lingtian came to the Duan clan. On this day, Duan Lingtian was still comprehending the way of swordsmanship. Suddenly, a voice came from outside, and it was a voice he was familiar with. Brother Lingtian, someone from Bibo Tianfu has come, and now they live in our Duan clan. 3 days later, we will set off with them to the place of return to the ruins. The voice belongs to Duan Tianhong. Duan Tianhong, the law enforcement elder, was originally not arranged by the Duan clan to accompany him. However, considering that since Duan Lingtian came to the Duan clan, he has been involved in cultivation, and has not been in contact with other people, only familiar with Duan Tianhong, so he asked Duan Tianhong to accompany Duan Lingtian as a companion. Chapter 4500. Duan Yue. Besides one more thing. Duan Tianhong continued. Old ancestor left the customs yesterday. After learning of your existence, Brother Lingtian, he wanted to see you. In addition, the patriarch also told old ancestor that if you have something to ask him for help, old ancestor said, when you meet him, you can tell him what to do to help him. In the past 10 years, Duan Lingtian has approached Duan Bing, the patriarch of the Duan clan, more than once, explaining that he wants to see the half-sage ancestor of the Duan clan and wants him to do him a favor. As for how to help, he also told Duan Bing. According to Duan Bing, this matter is a bit tricky. It is not that the ancestors of the Duan clan are unwilling to help, but that the soul is imprisoned by the Soul clan. Once the power of the soul of the strongest is involved, their ancestors can't really help. However, he still assured Duan Lingtian that their ancestors of the Duan clan would still be willing to go with Duan Lingtian once they leave the customs. Perhaps before you set off, you will have time to go to your hometown with your ancestors. Duan Tianhong laughed. And Duan Lingtian, after hearing Duan Tianhong's words, his eyes suddenly lit up. Elder Tianhong, please take me to see the ancestor. Originally, he had temporarily put this matter aside. I even thought that after the trip to return to the ruins in Bibo Tianfu, I would enter Bibo Tianfu and seek help from the sages of Bibo Tianfu. A saint's shot is more reliable than a half-sage's shot. Unexpectedly, before leaving for the return to the ruins of the Bibo Tianfu, the ancestors of the Duan clan left the customs. Although, there are only 3 days left. However, it was enough for him to travel back and forth to the anti-god realm. Because, in Leishing realm, there are teleportation formations that go to more than 20 realms, including the anti-god realm. Of course, you must first go to the transfer teleportation formations in the major realms to transfer. Going back to the god-defying realm? Thinking of this, Duan Lingtian couldn't help but feel excited. In the past, when he left the anti-god realm, it could be said that he sneaked out. At that time, because he had a large number of divine springs in his hands, it was enough to attract the coveted of the most powerful. So he tried every means to leave the anti-god realm and pass through other realms to the outer lands. Accidentally teleported to the Tian Sha realm, one of the outer areas of the outer lands. Then walking all the way from Tian Sha realm to the lay sacred realm of these 3 holy realms, it can be said that it is walking on thin ice, cautious, and even dare not reveal his identity. Now, when he thinks of going back to the god realm, he has a feeling of being separated from the world. I came to me the first time because I knew you were in a hurry. Duan Tianhong laughed. Although the young man in front of him has only been with the Duan family for 10 years, in the past 10 years, he and the other party have formed a deep friendship because of similar temperaments. Although he is the strongest, he does not dare to be big in front of the other party, because he knows that the potential of the other party is far greater than his. Perhaps, now he is enough to easily overwhelm the opponent. But in the future, not necessarily. I have sent the message to the ancestor, and I will take you to see him, Duan Tianhong said again. Hearing this, Duan Lingshan's eyes that had already lit up became more and more bright, and then he followed Duan Tianhong to the place where the half-sage ancestor of the Duan family was cultivating. As the existence with the highest status in the Duan clan, the place where the semi-sage ancestor of the Duan clan is located is also a spiritual spring. Moreover, he was the only one in the entire Lingquan. Ancestor, the big offering is here. Duan Tianhong brought Duan Lingtian to the canyon where the Lingquan like a paradise is located, stood in the sky, and saluted the floating hut above the canyon in front of him. A slightly lazy voice came from inside. And it was this voice that caused Duan Lingshan's pupils to shrink sharply, and the depths of his eyes were full of horror. This half-sage ancestor of the Duan family turned out to be a strong female? And just as Duan Lingtian was horrified, the door of the floating hut in front opened, and a graceful figure appeared in front of Duan Lingtian at the right time. This is a woman wearing a light cyan dress. She looks to be in her 20s at most. The most important thing is that she was lazy at this time, as if she was not interested in anything. However, Duan Lingtian only glanced at her pair of agile eyes, and he had a feeling of seeing the endless abyss, as if there was no end, like a bottomless abyss. Duan Lingtian, I have seen my ancestor. Although the person in front of him seemed to be about the same age as himself, Duan Lingtian knew that under this young face, there was a long period of precipitation. After all, this one is the most senior figure in the Duan clan. Full 10 living fossils. You are the worship of our Duan clan, so you don't need to call me old ancestor like them. The woman smiled lightly and looked at Duan Lingshan's eyes, which suddenly became deeper. At this moment, Duan Lingtian also had a feeling of being invisible. It's amazing. The next moment, the woman's pupils contracted violently, imperceptibly. As soon as she said these words, she looked at Duan Tianhong and said lightly, I have something to say to the big offering, so please step back. Yes, old man. When Duan Tianhong heard the words, he hurriedly stepped back respectfully, and at the same time reminded Duan Lingtian through a voice transmission, Brother Lingtian, what our ancestor was good at was one of the 4 supreme laws of life, and he also mastered the control of one of the 4 laws of heaven and earth. Road. After reminding Duan Lingtian, he disappeared in front of Duan Lingtian and the ancestors of the Duan clan. For a time, within the huge canyon, only Duan Lingtian and the ancestors of the Duan clan were left. My name is Duan Yue, you little guy, You don't need to call me ancestors like them in the future. Just call me Sister Wei. After Duan Tianhong withdrew, Duan Yuwei stared at Duan Lingtian with interest, and at the same time took a few steps forward. In front of Duan Lingtian, her slender hand stretched out, hooked Duan Lingshan's chin, and looked at Duan Lingtian. As for Duan Lingtian, in the process, although he wanted to dodge, he found that an invisible force seemed to imprison him in place, making him unable to move at all. For a time, while being shocked by the opponent's strength, Duan Lingtian felt bitter in his heart. Why does this ancestor of the Duan clan feel abnormal? What is she trying to do? It's amazing. Just when Duan Lingtian was inexplicable, Duan Yuwei spoke again. With such strength, it is less than 3,000 years old. Looking beyond the world, and even the history of the world, I have never heard of anyone at your age with your strength. And Duan Lingtian, after hearing Duan Yuwei's words, his face changed drastically. He never imagined that Duan Yuwei, the ancestor of the Duan clan, could see that he was less than 3,000 years old just by looking at him. You must know that in the past, although there were people of similar age who could see his age, they could only see that he was not long live. And now, this paragraph of Yuwei actually saw that he was less than 3,000 years old. You know, this is not a good thing. As long as the other party has a bit of bad intentions, he will definitely die. Don't be nervous. I have no ill will towards you. I really want to be malicious to you. Do you think you can still stand here well now? And Duan Yuwei at this time seemed to see Duan Lingshan's current nervousness from Duan Lingshan's eyes, smiled lightly, and then stood up, and at the same time removed the invisible force that enveloped Duan Lingtian. At this moment, Duan Lingtian regained his freedom, and quickly took a few steps back, looking vigilantly at the teasing ancestor of the Duan clan in front of him. Taking a deep breath, Duan Lingtian said, "Ancestor." As soon as he opened his mouth, he was interrupted by Duan Yuwei frowning. "I said, you can just call me Sister Wei. From today, I will call you Xiaotian. You can go to the Duan clan. It means that you have a relationship with the Duan clan, and it has something to do with me. From now on, you and I will be sisters and brothers." Chapter 45:01. Return to the hometown against the gods. As the ancestor of the Duan clan, the semi-saint Duan Yuwei naturally cannot be that kind of mindless and kind person. Now she is polite to Duan Lingtian, and even bluntly said that she wants to be commensurate with Duan Lingshan's sister and brother, because she sees through Duan Lingshan's age of less than 3,000 years old. Ordinary semi-sacred naturally do not have this method. But the problem is, she is a semi-sacred powerhouse who is good at the law of life. The law of life, it is only one step away, the kind that can step into the realm of great perfection. At less than 3,000 years old, he has the strength close to the invincible superior god. Duan Yuwei has never even heard of such a monster. At least, in the place beyond the world that she knew, and even in the history of the world, there has never been such a person against the sky. And now, such a person is standing in front of his eyes. Most importantly, it hasn't really grown up yet. In her opinion, isn't this a chance to befriend the future powerhouse ahead of time? Maybe not long after, there will be a strong Jiezun realm, calling him Sister Wei, and at that time, their Duan clan will no longer need to be attached to Bibo Tianfu. Even those who are in the realm of the world today, there is no one who can achieve his achievements at his age. Maybe, his future achievements can surpass those of the world's most powerful people. Duan Yuwei said secretly. Because of this, she did not treat the young man in front of her as a junior ancestor. Facing Duan Yuwei's friendliness, Duan Lingtian was a little flattered, but also a little restless. However, as soon as he opened his mouth, he was interrupted by Duan Yuwei before he could continue talking, only to see Duan Yuwei frowning and saying unhappily, "I said it all, you and I are good siblings? Could it be? Do you think that Duan Yuwei is not qualified to be your sister?" Speaking of this, Duan Yuwei's eyes on Duan Lingtian changed, and she became a little teasing. "I heard that you have something to ask me for help. If you and I have a brother and sister relationship, about your brother, I will be my sister. Yes, of course, it is my duty and I must go all out to help." Hearing Duan Yuwei's words, Duan Lingtian was speechless for a while, and he could only call out Sister Wei. And when Duan Yuwei heard Duan Lingshan's Sister Wei, she immediately lifted it up and handed the 2 floating shadow beads to Duan Lingtian. "Since you called me Sister Wei, then I, the elder sister, will also give you a meeting gift. With your current strength, I can help you, and that's all." In these 2 floating shadow beads, There are respectively recorded mirror images of two invincible upper gods who are good at space laws. It should be of some help to you. Originally, Duan Ling Tian was also guessing that this floating shadow bead should be the floating shadow bead that recorded the powerful shot, but when he heard Duan Yuwei's words, he was shocked again. Another two floating shadow beads that recorded the shots of the invincible upper gods who were good at space laws? The next moment, Duan Ling Tian, who came back to his senses, involuntarily showed a look of surprise on his face. Although he already had such a floating shadow bead in his hand, who would dislike too much of this kind of thing? Although they are all invincible superior gods who comprehend the laws of space to the realm of great perfection, the direction of each person's comprehension is completely different. He got these floating shadow beads, and he can find different inspirations from them. Thank you, Miss Wei. If Duan Ling Tian was forced to be helpless in the previous sister, now this sister, Duan Ling Tian, came from the heart. The person in front of him. He is not difficult to guess the reason for his enthusiasm for him. It is nothing more than seeing his potential and wanting to befriend him in advance. This is tantamount to an investment. He is not disgusted by this. After all, the other party's investment is also risky. Who can guarantee that Duan Ling Tian will be able to stand outside the realm in the future, or even the peak of the world? The reason why I say this is also because the only strong people who can help Duan Yuwei are those who stand outside the realm, or even the realm powerhouses at the peak of the world. Okay, now, let's go to your hometown. Duan Yuwei said, no more unnecessary nonsense. When Duan Ling Tian heard the words, his eyes suddenly lit up. After all, this was his biggest purpose, to find the person in front of him. He wanted to bring the other party back to his hometown against God Realm to seek here and see if the other party had the means to wake him up. Let's talk about it first. I don't have much confidence. Duan Yuwei continued. Regarding the ins and outs of the matter, she had heard Duan Bing, the patriarch of the Duan clan, and knew what she was going to do on this trip, so she reminded Duan Ling Tian before leaving. However, although I don't have much confidence, but with my strength, I can delay the erosion of her soul, I still have a certain degree of confidence. Duan Yuwei added. Duan Ling Tian was stunned for a moment, and then showed a happy expression. It can also delay the erosion of the soul. Duan Ling Tian did not expect this unexpected joy. In this way, it is not in vain for him to enter the Duan clan and seek the help of this person. Let's go. Follow me to the Thunder Saint realm, to the teleportation formation that leads to your hometown, the anti-god realm. Duan Yuwei greeted Duan Ling Tian, then lifted it up without reminding Duan Ling Tian, took Duan Ling Tian directly, and left the Duan clan at a ridiculously fast speed. How outrageous! Although Duan Ling Tian was completely awake, but now Duan Yuwei was leading him on the road. His eyes were so vast that he couldn't see anything clearly. This shows how fast Duan Yuwei is. As expected of a semi-sacred powerhouse. Duan Ling Tian was shocked. Duan Yuwei can be said to be the first semi-sacred powerhouse he has ever come into contact with, even if it was Kumu, a powerhouse with the same level of strength as the Cold King in the past. He knew that Kumu's father was a semi-sacred powerhouse, but after all, he did not. Meet Deadwood's father. Half-holy powerhouses. In Verse God Realm, it seems that there are also. After coming to the land beyond the realm, Duan Ling Tian is no longer the stunned young man he used to know nothing about. He knows that in the 10,000 realms, in addition to the upper 3 realms, there are more than one realm powerhouse, and the middle 18 realms below, most of them have a strong Jiazun in charge. Even if there is no Jiazun strong, there are many powerful half-step Jiazun in charge. A half-step world honor is a half-sage. Moreover, he also heard in the land outside the realm that the realm of the gods is the most powerful realm in the 18th realm, and there is a powerful realm of the realm. Thinking of this, Duan Ling Tian couldn't help but think that when he had gone through hardships in the past, passed the many tests, and obtained the Shen Yun Quan, the existence that was honored as adult by a supreme power, another supreme power. I don't know that one. What level of superpower? Half-step Jiazun? Or an existence that is close to the half-step Jiazun? Chapter 4502. Here's the teleportation formation from Lei Shangjing to the upper 3 realms and the middle 18 realms of myriad realms. When the scenery could be gradually seen in front of him, Duan Yuwei's words came from Duan Lingshan's ear at the right time. Duan Ling Tian took a closer look, only to realize that he was taken to a vast plain by Duan Yuwei at some point, and within this plain, there were giant teleportation formations scattered in various areas. And next to these giant teleportation arrays, each erected a huge stone tablet with the names of the realms engraved on it. Duan Lingshan's eyes were quickly attracted by one of the stone tablets, because the 3 characters Averse God Realm were engraved on it. There are people patrolling around each giant teleportation array. Obviously, this teleportation array is not something that can be used casually. These teleportation arrays are jointly built and maintained by several great saints in the Thunder Holy Land. Our Duan clan is attached to the Bibo Tianfu, so it is also useful to have the authority of these teleportation arrays. Seemingly seeing the doubts in Duan Lingshan's eyes, Duan Yue spoke at the right time to clear up Duan Lingshan's doubts. Of course, our Duan clan, although it is a semi-sacred force under Bibo Tianfu, still needs to spend a lot of divine crystals to use these teleportation arrays. Because the activation of the teleportation array requires a lot of divine crystals. If it weren't for the fact that in 3 days, you would set off for the return to the ruins found in Bibo Tianfu, and the time was too fast, I would have taken you directly to the anti-god realm. A half-step realm like Duan Yue can easily lock in the location of the anti-god realm, and the physical body crosses numerous space barriers to reach the spatial plane where the anti-god realm is located. However, even with her strength, it would take a lot of time to go to the anti-god realm. No teleportation array comes as fast. Let's go. Duan Yue greeted Duan Lingtian, and went directly to the teleportation formation Yu Kongxing marked with the anti-god realm, and in a blink of an eye, she arrived at the periphery of the teleportation formation. You two from which force? Immediately, someone stepped forward and asked Duan Lingtian about the origins of the two. The Midnight Saint. And at this moment, another figure flashed from a distance, and in a blink of an eye, it was not far in front of Duan Lingtian and Duan Yue, looking at Duan Yue to say hello. Elder Yuan Wu. And Duan Yue, apparently recognizing the person, nodded slightly to him. Duan Lingtian glanced at the other party one more time. The person Duan Yue called Elder Yuan Wu looked like a young man. At this moment, Duan Yue's gaze was obviously hot. Even he had an illusion. Although the other party just glanced at him inadvertently, he felt hostile. That's right. Just hostility. This person won't be interested in Sister Wei? At this moment, even if Duan Lingtian didn't want to think about it, he couldn't help but think so, because the other party's performance was too strange. Half-holy. The middle-aged strong man who stopped Duan Lingtian and the two before, also glanced at Duan Yue in surprise at this time, obviously did not expect this person to be a half-sage. Of course, even being a half-holy was not enough to make him bow down. He comes from the power of saints, and he is a third-order Xian. Elder Yuan Wu, since you know him, you can entertain him. He glanced at the young man who had just come over and said, Okay. The young man, Yuan Wu, smiled and nodded. This person is the elder of Bibo Tianfu, the existence of the fourth-order Xian. In Duan Lingshan's ear, Duan Yue's words came in a timely manner. Each of these teleportation formations must have at least one Xian Tier 3 existence in charge. And those who guard these teleportation formations must be at least Xian Tier 4. The presence. As for the candidate, it will be negotiated by those sage forces. Now, it is obviously the use of these teleportation arrays on the main island of the elders of the Bibo Tianfu. Duan Yue said. Hearing this, Duan Lingtian was stunned for a while. At the same time, he couldn't help but look at Yuan Wu a few more times. According to his sister Wei's words, this Yuan Wu should be the most powerful being present. Yu Yi Mid-Saint, who is this? Yuan Wu's gaze fell on Duan Lingtian seriously for the first time. My brother. Duan Yue said lightly. His name is Duan Lingtian. Xiaotian, this is Elder Yuan Wu of Bibo Tianfu. Hearing Duan Yue's words, Duan Lingtian looked at the other party and bowed slightly. Duan Lingtian, I have seen Elder Yuan Wu. After hearing Duan Lingshan's name, Yuan Wu's hostility towards Duan Lingtian in the depths of his eyes clearly dissipated a lot. It turned out to be a friend of the Duan clan. Of course, at this moment, he really couldn't figure out how someone like Duan Yue would recognize a superior of the Duan clan as his younger brother. Moreover, he had never heard that Duan Yue had such a younger brother. If it is Duan Yue's own younger brother or something, and he is not a superpower according to his age, I am afraid that he will not be alive now. Elder Yuan Wu, I'm going to use the teleportation formation of the God-defying realm. Duan Yue looked at Yuan Wu and said, I'm going to go to the anti-god realm. Duan Yue went straight to the point and didn't talk nonsense with Yuan Wu. And Yuan Wu's next performance also made Duan Lingtian further confirm. This elder Yuan Wu of Bibo Tianfu is indeed interested in Duan Yue, a semi-sage of the Duan clan. Because, while greeting them to set foot on the teleportation array, Yuan Wu took out the divine crystal from his own pocket to activate the teleportation array. While activating the teleportation formation, Yuan Wu looked at Duan Yue and reminded, Yu Yi Banqing, there are saints in the anti-god realm. Before going to the anti-god realm, it is best to contact the strong people there to avoid misunderstandings. Yuan Wu didn't ask Duan Yue what to do in the god realm, because in his opinion, everyone has their own secrets. Thank you, Elder Yuan Wu, for reminding me. Duan Yue nodded. The next moment, Duan Ling Tian felt a teleportation force shrouding him, and then his eyes darkened and lit up, and he had already appeared in another teleportation formation. This teleportation formation is located in a lush forest. Near the teleportation formation, several grass huts stand there. As Duan Ling Tian and Duan Yue came out, one person came out one after another in those grass huts. The Thunder Holy Land from the Outer Lands? A total of 3 people walked out of the 3 grass huts, 1 middle-aged and 2 elderly, all staring at Duan Yue vigilantly. As for Duan Ling Tian, they were completely ignored by them. The non-superpowers are not in their eyes. You should be the gatekeepers at the entrance to the realm of the anti-god realm. Duan Yue looked at the 3 of them, and said indifferently, Tell those of you who are in charge of the anti-god realm and say that I am the half-saint of the night in the Thunder Holy Land outside the realm. This time, I followed my younger brother back to his hometown to have something to do. Manage. I'll leave when I'm done. As soon as Duan Yue said these words, the pupils of the 3 of them shrank all of a sudden. This turned out to be a half-sage? A half-sage is a half-step world venerable. Even if you look at the entire god-defying realm, there are only a handful of existences. At the same time, their eyes shifted to Duan Ling Tian in the next moment. Is this person the one who went out against the god realm? Not even a superpower. He can be recognized as a younger brother by a half-step world-respected powerhouse. For a time, deep in their eyes, a playful color flashed subconsciously, thinking that this was the male favorite of the semi-sacred powerhouse in front of them. Otherwise, how to explain a non-superior can invite a half-step world venerable? Chapter 4503. Reverse God Realm. Xiaomu Bai. Yu Yi Banqing, wait a moment. I'll contact the world masters of our anti-god realm. After learning that Duan Yue was the existence of the half-step world venerable, the 3 of them did not dare to be slighted, and quickly contacted several world masters in the anti-god realm. The world masters of the anti-god realm are all half-step world masters. At the same time, in the endless void, a young man in white sitting in a pavilion on a floating island in the sky suddenly opened his eyes. Outside the world, Thunder Holy Land, Midnight Saint? The one from the Duan clan below the Bibo Tianfu in the Thunder Holy Land? The next moment, the young man in white dodged and stepped into the void. A space crack suddenly opened in the void in front of him, as if a door had been opened for him. Then he stepped into it himself. Those old guys are all in retreat. No matter what, I can only go and meet the Midnight Saint. Before the space crack closed, indifferent words came out from the space crack. Our people from the god-defying realm are suspected to have become his male pets? The young man in white murmured while rushing along at a ridiculously fast speed, and his tone became a little weird at this moment. A character like Midnight Yu Yi will find a male pet? Although, he had never had any interaction with the Midnight Saint of the Thunder Holy Land in the past, but he had also heard of the other party, and knew that the other party had never been married in his life, and that there had never even been a man around him. Such a character would find a male pet? He didn't quite believe it. At the same time, in the anti-god realm, many superpowers who had a good relationship with the 3 superpowers guarding the teleportation formation outside the realm also received news at this time. Outside the world, is there a visit from a half-step world-respected powerhouse? What does he want to do? Half-step Jesuin came to us against the god realm, and there must be a plan. I think it's time to hold the Supreme Power Conference again. I haven't heard that the other party is just following her younger brother to work against the god realm? After saying that, I will leave after finishing the works. I think we can just wait and see what happens. We don't need to be all the grass and trees. It's just a half-step realm, and it's not a real realm. Exalted realm. In the anti-god realm, a group of supreme powers were disturbed. Among them, it also includes Zhuge Hanming, the son of the time sword Zhuge Wen. Zhuge Hanming, among the supreme powers in the god-defying realm, is considered a relatively strong existence. Now he has stepped into the third order supreme power, which is much stronger than the ordinary supreme powers. In the anti-god realm, several realm masters are all 5th rank Zeons. And the following deputy world masters are all 4th order Zeons. If one day Zhuge Hanming also steps into the 4th rank of Zeon, then the world master of the god-defying realm will hold a meeting of the supreme powers for him and nominate him as the deputy world master. Lei Shengjing, the half-step sacred powerhouse of the Duan clan below Bibo Tianfu? Zhuge Hanming frowned slightly. He had been to Lei Shengjing, but he had never been to the area where Bibo Tianfu belonged, so he didn't know the situation there. Now, he doesn't even know. Now, the person from the anti-god realm who came back with the Yu Banshing was mistaken by the 3 supreme anti-god realm guards guarding the teleportation formation as a male favorite. It was his junior disciple Feng Qingyang's disciple Duan Lingtian. In the past, when he was on the battlefield, he had an intersection with Duan Lingtian. However, at that time, he did not know that it was his nephew. He only learned later that his father had an inheritor, and it was only later that he found out that the peerless genius who was making a lot of noise in the plain battlefield was the disciple of his father's inheritor. Back then, when he first learned about all this, Zhuge Hanming still felt a little proud. The sword of time is in the same vein, and there are people who have successors. Although his own talent is not bad, compared to his father, it is completely incomparable. When his father was alive, he was a strong 5th order superpower. Moreover, relying on the amazing time swordsmanship, his father was not only invincible under the 6th rank of Zeon in the god-defying realm, but he even went out of the realm, and even went to other realms of Wanjie, and he never encountered the same realm. Someone who can rival him. It can be said that for Zhuge Hanming, his father, the sword of time Zhuge Wendao, is the goal he has spent his whole life pursuing, and is the pillar of his soul. In the anti-god realm, although there are 18 passages leading to the outside world, there are only 2 teleportation arrays connecting to the outside world. One of them is connected to the outside world. In the other place, it is connected to the other 17 realms of the upper 3 realms and the middle 18 realms, as well as some realms subordinate to the anti-god realm, such as the reincarnation realm that Duan Lingtian has been to. At this moment, Duan Lingtian and Duan Yue stood there, waiting quietly at the place where the teleportation array was connected to the outside world. Although Duan Lingtian felt that the eyes of the 3 superpowers looking at him were a bit strange, he ignored it. For him, the most important thing now is to take this sister Wei by his side to find his wife Kier. See if the other party can help his wife Kier get rid of the imprisoned soul from her body. Now, he and Duan Yue are standing here, just waiting for the powerhouse in the god-defying realm to come over. Coming. Suddenly, Duan Yue's eyes landed on the void in the distance ahead. When Duan Lingtian heard her words, he followed his gaze for a while. As for the opposite god realm, the 3 superpowers guarding the teleportation formation in the outer world, after Duan Lingtian looked at it, he noticed the change in the distance, and they all looked at it for a while. Tear. Under the eyes of the 5 people, the void in the distance suddenly tore apart a space crack. Then, a white figure stepped out from the inside at the right time and appeared in front of the 5 people, including Duan Lingtian. The person who came, dressed in a white dress, with a handsome face, sword-like eyebrows and star-like eyes, and an extraordinary temperament. It looks like Duan Lingshan's peers. However, Duan Lingtian knows that this person is probably at least a half-step world venerable existence. Because before that, Duan Yue had a voice transmission to tell him that in the god-defying realm, the strong sage, that is, the strong Jiezun realm, Shenlong saw the beginning but not the end, and usually a few half-step Jiezun was in charge. The world lord. After the young man dressed in white appeared, the 3 supreme powers of the god-defying realm immediately saluted him respectfully. It can be seen that they respect the youth in white from the bottom of their hearts. Inverse God Realm, Xiaomu Bai, I have seen Midnight Yu Yi. The eyes of the young man in white first fell on Duan Lingtian, and there was a hint of surprise in the depths of his eyes, and then he looked at Duan Yue and said hello with a smile. You are Xiaomu Bai? And Duan Yue, upon hearing Xiaomu Bai's self-introduction, her pupils suddenly shrank together. Even you have been promoted to the 5th rank. Chapter 45:04. I didn't expect that Midnight Yu Yi knew me. Xiaomu Bai stood there, looking at Duan Yue with a smile. The current Duan Lingtian, standing beside Duan Yue, was also looking at Xiaomu Bai. To him, Xiaomu Bai is a raw face that he has never seen before. However, Xiaomu Bai's voice sounded somewhat familiar to him. It's just that I can't remember for a while, and I heard a voice similar to Xiao Mubai somewhere. He is the lord of the god-defying realm? Duan Lingtian looked at Xiao Mubai a few more times. Although he is also a person from the god-defying realm, he has never met the world lord of the god-defying realm. In other words, don't say see, he only came back this time, only to know that they still have a world master in the god-defying realm. Before the lord of the god-defying realm Xiao Mubai appeared, he learned from Duan Yuwai's voice transmission. In one of the 18 realms like the anti-god realm, the realm masters are basically half-sages, that is, half-step realms, and there are more than one realm masters. As for the strong people in the realm of the world, they generally do not take the position of the world master and govern the realm. The meaning of their existence is to continue to become stronger and survive. The strength and stability of a realm depend on the strong. The realms other than the upper 3 realms and the middle 18 realms are just because there is not a strong enough existence to sit in, so they can only become vassals of the upper 3 realms and the middle 18 realms. Some weak realms were forcibly extracted from the realm by the strong because they were of little value, so they fell apart, the realm was shattered, and countless creatures were annihilated. Duan Lingtian had heard of the power of the realm before, but he didn't know much about it. And now, as he asked, Duan Yuwei introduced to him that he also had a certain understanding of the power of the realm. The power of the realm, in addition to being able to pull out and reinforce the realm that you want to reinforce, can also be used by the strongest to comprehend the 4 ways and laws of heaven and earth. All in all, the power of the realm is a very good thing, something that is useful to the strongest. Sister Wei Shi seems to have heard of this person's name. At this moment, facing Duan Yuwei's gaff, even Duan Lingtian couldn't help but look at Duan Yuwei. Duan Yuwei's face also calmed down in this instant. She looked at Xiao Mubai and said with complicated eyes, Xiao Mubai, look beyond the world, and even the world, who doesn't know it? With a 4th order cultivation base, you will be invincible at the same level, facing the challenge of the 4th order powerhouse in the upper 3 worlds, and continue to be invincible without any defeat. Before you, another person who was recognized as having such strength was the time sword that you went out of the god realm, Xueqi asked. Ordinary 4th order powerhouses, no matter how strong they are, there will be people who can fight with them to a tie. You are all outliers. Duan Yuwei said that later. She looked at Xiao Mubai again, obviously a little more fearful. He didn't expect it. This Xiao Mubai has been promoted to the 5th rank. This also means that the strength of the other party is no longer weaker than her, and even more likely than her. After all, this Xiao Mubai, when he was only the 4th rank, swept the land beyond the realm and even the 10,000 realms, and was recognized as the invincible 4th tier of the 10,000 realms. Of course, this matter is known only to the most powerful people in the world outside the world, and even the most powerful people in the world, and those who are close to them. Most people have no way of knowing. It is Duan Lingtian, and it is only now that he knows. For a while, the eyes that looked at Xiao Mubai again were also full of shock. This guy is a ruthless man. With the strength of the 4th order Zeon, to the outside world, invincible under the 5th order Zeon? Is it recognized as the 4th order invincible in all worlds? Duan Lingtian never imagined that they had such a terrifying figure in the god realm. As for the Sword of Time Zhuge Dao, he had heard of it many times and knew that Zhuge Dao was a legendary figure who went out of the god realm. He is a ruthless man who has reached the 7th rank or higher of Kendo. In the land outside the world, and even the contemporary world, including those who are strong in the world, no one has realized the swordsmanship to the 7th level. As far as Duan Lingshan's current level of swordsmanship is concerned, it has been called a place outside the world, and even the top of the world. It is a pity that at that time, the lightsaber Zhuge asked, and he died before he had time to achieve the realm of realm. As for the cause of his death, there are many versions. Some people say that there is a saint who doesn't want him to grow up, and kills him first, strangling him in the cradle. Some people also said that he was trapped by love, and finally went into trouble and set himself on fire. Some people even said that he practiced swords like crazy, and in the end he smashed himself into 10,000 pieces. With so many different versions, Duan Lingtian recognized the first one the most. Because, in the land outside the realm, many people say that if you let the time sword Zhuge ask to achieve the realm of the world and step into the realm of the saints, his strength is among the saints, and he is definitely top-notch. I don't know whether Master's current swordsmanship has stepped into the 7th order. At this time, Duan Lingtian couldn't help but think of his master again, Feng Qingyang. His master might not be as good as him at the back, but his kendo has always been ahead of him. When his kendo first entered the 4th rank, his master's kendo seemed to have entered the 6th rank. Of course at that time, he did not have the concept of kendo grading. But it is certain that at that time, his master's gentle kendo was no weaker than his current kendo. I'm honored to be able to make you Yi Banshing remember me. Xiao Mubai smiled. But I don't know, what is the reason for the Saint Yu Yi who came to defy the realm of the gods? Do you need my Xiao Mubai's help? If there is, it's okay to say it in the middle of the night. Xiao Mubai has a hospitable host attitude. And the three supreme powerhouses of the god-defying realm behind him. As early as midnight Yu Yi mentioned Xiao Mubai's glorious deeds. An involuntary look of color appeared on their faces. After all, the world masters of the god-defying realm can be so famous outside the world, and even in all realms, as the supreme powers of the god-defying realm, they also have a light on their faces. I'm here for my brother and sister. Duan Yue glanced at Duan Lingtian beside her, and said softly, "This is the younger brother I recognize, and you are from the god-defying realm. I heard from him that my younger brother and sister's soul was imprisoned by the souls of the Soul Clan, so I wanted to come here. Please help. If Jeju Xiao is willing to go with him, that would be great. After all, I am not fully sure." In front of Xiao Mubai, Duan Yue also put away the arrogance she had shown before the three superpowers in the god-defying realm, and became much humbler. "Duan Lingtian, I have seen the world master." At the same time, Duan Lingtian also took a step forward and bowed slightly to Xiao Mubai. This one is the realm master of their anti-god realm. The figure standing at the top of the pyramid of the gods. Duan Lingtian? As Duan Lingtian reported his name, apart from Xiao Mubai's calm expression, as if he had known it for a long time, the other three Xions from the god-defying realm behind him all shrank their pupils and showed a look of astonishment. This purple-clothed youth is Duan Lingtian? The Duan Lingtian who got a lot of Shen Yunquan? For a time, after the three of them looked at Duan Lingtian for a while, their eyes fell on Xiao Mubai again. Back then, it was the world lord of their anti-god realm who took out a large amount of Shen Yunquan that he had obtained outside the realm and rewarded it to Duan Lingtian. Of course, they can be sure that Duan Lingtian has no connection with the world master himself. Duan Lingtian can get those rewards, relying entirely on himself. But, even so, they couldn't help but feel a little jealous. After all, that is the god Yunquan. Chapter 4505. Even. The three supreme powers present, after knowing that Duan Lingtian had a large amount of Shen Yunquan in his hands, all had their own thoughts. However, in the end, Duan Lingtian seemed to have disappeared from the Xia family, the land of the gods, and there was no more sound, so they could only suppress their thoughts. In any case, Duan Lingtian is also the Shen Yunquan obtained by the Fair and Bright, and it is the reward that the world lord of their god-defying realm personally promised, and it is also something that the world lord himself took out. They can't be robbed openly, they can only come in secret. However, Duan Lingshan's disappearance left them with nowhere to go. But now, Duan Lingtian appeared again, but he came back from a place outside the world. Moreover, beside Duan Lingtian, there is also an existence with the same strength as their several world masters in the god-defying realm, the half-step world-respected powerhouse, the secluded night half-sage of the Thunder Holy Land outside the world. How can this Duan Lingtian invite a semi-sacred powerhouse? How many years has he disappeared from the scene, and he has become a god? Could it be because he became this man's favorite, with the help of this man? His strength has grown by leaps and bounds. But, this is not right. Just now, this half-sage called Duan Lingshan's wife brother and sister. Yeah. This shows that Duan Lingtian can't be this man's favorite. In that case, why should he let the other party help? The three supreme powers, you and I communicated in secret through voice transmission. Looking at Duan Lingtian, he became more and more puzzled. They can't figure it out. How could this Duan Lingtian let the semi-sacred powerhouse from the outside world act for him in person? Of course, among the high-ranking gods, it is not that no one can let the semi-sacred powerhouse go out for them. However, those high-ranking gods are either invincible high-ranking gods, or are extremely close to the invincible high-ranking gods, and they are all top figures standing under the strongest. Duan Lingtian? The fact that the cultivation base can enter the realm of the upper gods in such a short period of time is enough to surprise and shock them, and there is a high probability that there is still the help of Shen Yunquan. As for Duan Lingshan's current strength, in their opinion, it is at most the level of ordinary upper gods. You can let Yu Yi Banshing take action for you. Your growth rate is beyond my expectations. At this time, Xiao Mubai's eyes also fell on Duan Lingtian, with a look of surprise on his face. When Duan Lingtian heard Xiao Mubai's words, he was stunned. This figure standing at the top of the anti-god realm pyramid, the anti-god realm lord, is it possible that he still knows himself? Or, have you heard of yourself? However, after thinking about it, Duan Lingtian suddenly felt in his heart. At the beginning, he was a big show in the battlefield. According to the words of the supreme powerhouse of the Xia family in the land of the gods, many people were staring at the large amount of gods he got. Among them, it also includes a group of supreme powers. Under such circumstances, it is not surprising that the lord of the god-defying realm paid attention to himself. Of course, Duan Lingtian knew in his heart that the lord of the god-defying realm would most likely not covet the Shen Yunquan in his hands like those ordinary superpowers. Duan Lingtian. At this time, one of the three god-defying realm supreme powerhouses standing next to him seemed to see Duan Lingshan's doubts, and said in a sour tone, "Back then, the Shen Yunquan you got was what the world master got outside, and take it out as the final ranking reward of the plain battlefield." The words of this supreme power suddenly opened up a memory deep in Duan Lingshan's memory. "It's you." Duan Lingtian suddenly opened his eyes and looked at Xiao Mubai, his eyes full of shock. "In the beginning, you sent me into the pool of Shen Yunquan? You sent me Shen Yunquan?" At this moment, Duan Lingtian completely remembered. No wonder. Just now he felt that the other party's voice was a little familiar. Back then, although he didn't see with his own eyes the mysterious powerhouse who sent him into the Shen Yunquan and gave him the Shen Yunquan, but he had heard the voice of the other party. He also remembers. At the beginning, the superpower who took him to the past also respectfully called the other party adult. At that time, he was still thinking about what kind of existence a supreme power would be willing to honor as an adult. Now he understands. It turned out that that person was the realm master of the anti-god realm. "It's me." Xiao Mubai nodded. "In the beginning, you performed well in the plain battlefield, so I gave you the Shen Yunquan. Now it seems that I did the right thing." With that said, Xiao Mubai's gaze fell on Yu Yi Banxing next to Duan Lingtian. Today, when he saw Duan Lingtian returning with Banxing Yu Yi to see his wife's soul imprisoning by the people of the Soul Clan, he guessed that Duan Lingshan's current weight is also very important in the heart of Banxing Yu Yi. "It turns out that the realm master and my brother have known each other for a long time." Duan Yuwei also smiled slightly at this time. "I have to say that the realm master is really discerning. My younger brother, although he is not young, his current strength is enough to cause a huge sensation in the world beyond the world, and even in the world. At least looking at the past history of the world outside the world, and even the world, until now, I have never heard of anyone who can have his strength at his age." When Duan Yuwei said this now, she was naturally raising Duan Lingtian. Because, she saw, these supreme powers in the god-defying realm should not yet understand the current strength of the younger brother she recognized. "Really?" As soon as Duan Yuwei said these words, not only the three superpowers of the god-defying realm were stunned, but also the master of the god-defying realm, Xiao Mubai, who also looked at Duan Lingtian with condensed eyes for the first time. He didn't expect that this midnight saint would have such a high evaluation of Duan Lingtian. "My younger brother, although he has not yet become an invincible high-ranking god, but, looking at the world beyond the realm, and even all worlds, under the invincible high-ranking god, there should be no one who is capable of defeating him alone." As soon as Duan Yuwei said these words, Rao Shi Xiao Mubai's face was calm since he appeared, and his eyes suddenly lit up. The other three god-defying realm supreme powerhouses were stunned at this time, and their eyes were also full of unbelievable colors. Of course, in addition to disbelief, there are more doubts. Obviously, they don't quite believe the words of this half-sacred knight. Because in their eyes, this is almost impossible. Outsiders may not know how old Duan Lingtian is, but they are the most powerful people in Duan Lingshan's hometown of the god-defying realm. However, Xiao Mubai obviously believed Duan Yuwei's words. His gaze fell on Duan Lingtian, and his tone softened a lot at this moment. "You are now in the realm of small perfection. Is it the law of time or the law of space?" "The laws of space," Duan Lingtian said. Hearing Duan Lingshan's words, Xiao Mubai nodded. "If you really have the invincible strength under the invincible superior gods, Sword Dao should be at least the 6th rank, right?" Duan Lingtian nodded. "After I showed my swordsmanship, they said this." The other three supreme beings in the god-defying realm were stunned when they heard the exchange between the two, as if they were petrified. "Is it possible it is true?" And Duan Yuwei also looked at Duan Lingtian in surprise at this time. "Xiaotian, are you still good at the law of time?" This time, before Duan Lingtian opened his mouth, Xiao Mubai said with a slight smile. Yu Yi Bansheng, the younger brother you recognize, is not only good at the law of time. His attainment in the law of life that you are good at is not low. In the small world in his body, there is a tree of life left after the death of a fourth-order powerhouse. Chapter 4506. The Tree of Life of the Fourth-Order Powerhouse. Hearing Xiao Mubai's words, Duan Lingshan's pupils shrank. He never imagined that the previous owner of the Tree of Life in his body turned out to be a fourth-tier Xian. You must know that the fourth-order Xian is close to the existence of half-step Jesuan. Compared to Xiao Mubai and Duan Yuwei, they are only one step behind. The three supreme powers of the God-defying realm also looked at Duan Ling Tian with surprise. The Tree of Life of the Fourth-Order Powerhouse? You must know that even the strongest of the three of them is only the second-tier Xian. Yes. When Duan Yuwei heard the words, she glanced at Duan Ling Tian beside her in surprise, and then showed a bright smile. Shoutin, it seems that you have a great chance to become an invincible superior god. If the law of space doesn't work, just sprint for the law of time. If the law of time doesn't work, just sprint for the law of life. The three laws, I still don't believe it. You can't even realize the realm of great perfection. Duan Yuwei also just learned that Duan Ling Tian is also good at the law of time and the law of life. This also means that after Duan Ling Tian, the space law sprint to the invincible upper god venerable fails, and he can still try the time law and the life law. If you were an ordinary person, you would definitely not have the energy and time. But Duan Ling Tian, a man who is less than 3,000 years old now, he doesn't have much, just a lot of time. World Lord, how do you know that the tree of life in my body is the tree of life of a fourth-order powerhouse? Duan Ling Tian looked at Xiao Mubai and asked in surprise. Hearing this, Xiao Mubai smiled lightly. When you came to take Shen Yun Quan, I felt the breath of an old friend in you. To be precise, it was the breath of the tree of life in the body of an old friend. I thought that after his death, he would disappear completely. But I didn't expect that his divine tree of life would turn to you. If he had a spirit in the sky, he would be able to rest his eyes, leave behind after death, but still shine. This is the dream of all Xians who perish to protect the anti-god realm. Speaking of which, Xiao Mubai's smile faded and he became a little serious. After a moment, he shook his head. Okay, let's not talk about this sentimental topic. I will go with Yu Yi Bansheng and accompany you. When the voice fell, he greeted Yu Yi Bansheng Shengxing, and at the same time with a casual move, an invisible force dragged Duan Ling Tian and rushed up with Duan Ling Tian. There are only three supreme powers of the god-defying realm left, looking at each other in dismay. Really? That Duan Ling Tian now has the invincible strength under the invincible superior god? One of the strongest people is obviously a little unbelievable. To be precise, I can't believe it. Because this is simply outrageous. You must know that throughout the past history of their anti-god realm, although there have been invincible existences under the invincible superior god venerable, there are only a few of them. Among those people, only two of them successfully became the invincible upper gods. In the era they lived in, the reputation of the anti-god realm outside the realm, and even the 10,000 realms, was not much weaker than that of the upper three realms. It should be true. Another Xian said with a dignified expression. The Midnight Saint Yu Yi is, after all, a half-step Jiezun. Her words shouldn't be false. Besides, her lie doesn't make much sense. After all, she is a semi-sage. As long as she is by Duan Lingshan's side for a moment, in the anti-god realm, it is impossible for anyone to blatantly harm Duan Ling Tian. The words of this superpower made the last superpower deeply agree. I think so too. Now, that Duan Ling Tian is no longer the little guy who could be needed by us. Now he can be regarded as the hope of the new generation of our god-defying realm. I remember. This paragraph of Ling Tian seems to be a disciple of the inner palace of the Wanfa Academy. I thought that Huang Fu Mengyuan could become an existence close to the invincible high-ranking god, and it was enough to shock people. Now it seems that this Ling Tian is more enchanting than Huang Fu Mengyuan. That Huang Fu Mengyuan is Duan Lingshan's senior sister? Duan Ling Tian naturally couldn't hear the exchanges between the three supreme powers of the god-defying realm. Now he is following Xiao Mubai, the realm master of the anti-god realm, and his older sister, Duan Yuwei of the Duan clan in the Thunder Holy Realm from the Outer Worlds, to one of the gods of the anti-god realm, the Divine Relic Land. His wife Kier, the eldest young lady of the Xia family, is now in the Xia family, the giant god-level family in the land of the gods. The three appeared in the sky above the Xia family's mansion. There was no movement in the Xia family, and it was obvious that they didn't notice anything. Think about it too. No matter whether it is Duan Yuwei or Xiao Mubai, they are the existence of Banbu Jiezun. Even if the Xia family's most powerful person is in the Xia family, as long as they do not deliberately reveal their whereabouts, it will be difficult for the other party to find them. I called the Xian from the Xia family to come out. After Xiao Mubai spoke to Duan Yuwei, he sent out a message together. In the blink of an eye, a white light flew out from the depths of the Xia family mansion, and in a blink of an eye, it was in front of Duan Lingtian and the others. But it was an old man who looked ordinary and passed out. I have seen the world, master. The old man is the ancestor of the Xia family, the only superpower of the Xia family, Xia Hechuan. After he appeared, he immediately looked at Xiao Mubai and saluted respectfully. Duan Lingtian, I have seen my ancestor. And Duan Lingtian, while Xia Hechuan saluted Xiao Mubai, bowed slightly to salute him. This old ancestor of the Xia family, before he left the anti-god realm, he had met once. Although they got along for a long time, the other party still gave him a lot of advice and reminders when he was about to go to the outside world. It can be said that he took a lot of detours. Kid Lingtian? And Xia Hechuan only then came back to his senses and looked at Duan Lingtian. He's a little out of mind. His husband-in-law, who was a descendant of unknown generations, even he was amazed by the enchanting genius. How long did he go to the outside world, and then he came back? Moreover, who came back with him, and one of their several world masters in the god-defying realm? Xia Hequin. Xiao Mubai looked at Xia Hechuan and introduced Duan Yuwei beside him. This one next to me is the midnight saint of the Duan clan in the Thunder Holy Land outside the world. Half holy. Although Xia Hechuan had never heard of Duan Yuwei's name, he also knew what the word half-sage meant. For a while, he hurriedly saluted Duan Yuwei. Xia Hechuan, I have seen Yu Yi Banshing. Don't be too polite. Duan Yuwei smiled. Since you are my brother's elder, you are your own, so you don't need to be so polite, younger brother? And Xia Hechuan was stunned for a moment, and at the same time, he glanced at Duan Lingtian subconsciously. Duan Lingtian noticed Xia Hechuan's gaze and smiled slightly. Old ancestor, Sister Wei and I are indeed brothers and sisters. I brought her back this time, just to show her to Kier. How's Kier doing recently? Having said this, the smile on Duan Lingshan's face disappeared instantly, replaced by a deep worry. Hearing this, Xia Hechuan sighed. It's still the same. Although I want to help her slow down the corroding progress of the power of imprisoning her soul, but my strength is limited and I can't do it. He is only a second-tier superpower. Take me to meet my brother and sister. Duan Yuwei saw Duan Lingshan's worry, looked at Xia Hechuan and said, Yes. Xia Hechuan responded respectfully. Even if Duan Yuwei told him not to be polite, he couldn't really do that. After all, this is a half-step world-respected powerhouse. In the anti-god realm, it is the existence of the realm master level. In the anti-god realm, there are only a few realm masters, who are half-step successors of the 5th rank of the strongest. Chapter 4507. Although from Duan Lingshan's point of view, it was after many years that he had returned to the god-defying realm and the Xia family, the land of the gods. However, for everyone in the Xia family, it was only a few years ago. After all, the years they lived were far longer than those of Duan Lingtian, and they lived a long time, which was naturally different from someone like Duan Lingtian who had only lived for more than 1,000 years. However, whether it was Xia Yu, the head of the Xia family, or Xia Jie, the third master of the Xia family, they were quite shocked by Duan Lingshan's return. Because they never thought that Duan Lingtian would come back so soon. In particular, when they learned from the mouth of their Xia family ancestor Xia Hechuan that Duan Lingtian came back this time and brought back an existence whose strength was comparable to that of their god-defying realm boundary master, they were even more shocked. Moreover, this strong man is also commensurate with Duan Lingshan's sister and brother. Call their daughters and nieces brothers and sisters. In the quiet courtyard, in the room, Duan Lingtian stayed alone in the room, quietly watching the beautiful woman lying on the bed, motionless. Kier, I'm back. Duan Lingtian held his wife Kier's hand, and his eyes turned red involuntarily. At this moment, his heart that was as hard as iron seemed to be vulnerable. Noticing that his wife was motionless, Duan Lingtian didn't care whether she could hear it or not, and told her word by word about his experience of going to the outer worlds. Speak slowly. At this moment, his backlogged emotions seemed to be vented.
In the land outside the world, he worked hard for everything on his own, and he survived many times and died, and only then did he achieve what he is today. And a large part of the reason why he went through this was because of the supervision of his wife Kier's physical condition.
After a long time, Duan Lingtian stood up and walked out of the room. Sister Wei, Senior Xiao, please trouble you. After going out, Duan Lingtian looked at the stone table in the courtyard. A man and a woman who were received by Xia Hechuan, the ancestor of the Xia family, and said solemnly, "These two are the existences of the Fifth Order Xian, and the half-step world respects the powerhouse." The two of them joined forces, and they didn't know if they could get rid of the imprisoned soul on Kierj. Duan Lingtian was at a loss.
If these two are real world-class experts, that is, the saints in the mouths of people outside the world, he feels that the soul imprisonment on his wife Kier is likely to be released. How big is the gap between the semi-sage and the saint? He has been in the outside world for such a long time and he knows something. However, right now, he still doesn't have the ability to let the saint take action for him. Shouten, don't worry, Jeju Xiao and I will do our best. Duan Yue said to Duan Lingtian with a smile, and at the same time she looked at Xiao Mubai next to her, and said with a straight face, "Xiao Jeju, if you can help me to help my younger brother and sister to release the soul imprisonment of the Soul Clan, I Duan Yue owe you a favor." Yu Yi Mid-Saint is joking. Hearing this, Xiao Mubai shook his head and glanced at Duan Lingtian at the same time. Duan Lingtian and I are also related by fate. If I can help in this matter, naturally I won't let it go. In fact, at this time, Xiao Mubai secretly sighed in his heart. Duan Lingshan's wife Kier, although he did not personally investigate the situation, he had also heard reports from his subordinates. According to the report of the subordinates, it is the soul of the second-tier Xian clan. After they merged with the people of the anti-god realm, the soul is imprisoned. If it is only the first-tier supreme powerhouse clansmen, and their non-extreme powerhouses in the god-defying realm merge into one, their means will be greatly reduced. Under this circumstance, the soul was imprisoned, and he was very sure to expel it. But Nauj. He doesn't even have a 10% certainty. Even if Duan Yue is still there, he doesn't think that the two of them will be able to join forces with more than 20%. However, he did not express his thoughts. Because he knew that saying these words at this time would be a huge blow to Duan Lingtian and Duan Yue. Duan Lingtian led Duan Yue and Xiao Mubai into the room. Brother and sister are so beautiful. Rao sure Duan Yue has seen countless beauties in her life, and when she saw the woman on the bed, she couldn't help but let out a sigh. While sighing, before Duan Yue reached the head of the bed, her divine sense also extended softly at the first moment, covering Kier's body. Seeing this scene, Duan Lingtian looked at it with a solemn expression, and his heart was full of anxiety. And Xiao Mubai at this time also extended his consciousness, and cooperated with Duan Yue to explore the power of Kier's soul together. It didn't take long for the two of them to discover the imprisoning power of the powerhouse of the Soul Clan, which enveloped the entire soul, and because of the time it had been enveloped, the enveloped soul had become much weaker. If it continues like this, I am afraid that within 1,000 years, the soul will be scattered. In just a few dozen breaths, Duan Yue and Xiao Mubai's consciousness retreated together. Then, Xiao Mubai shook his head gently. On the other hand, Duan Yue's face was ugly. The people from the Soul Clan who shot are definitely above the second rank of the strongest. Otherwise, if they are integrated with the non-superpowers, they will definitely not be able to display this level of soul confinement. Hearing Duan Yue's words, Duan Lingshan's originally nervous expression changed drastically. The Soul Clan clansman above the second rank of Xian. The remnant soul of the Soul Clan who merged with that Yun Qingyan turned out to be in existence above the second rank of Xian? The last thing he wanted to see happened, after all. Back then, that Yun Qingyan merged with the Soul Clan people to imprison Kier's soul. His knowledge of the Soul Clan people was limited to the extreme powerhouse. Later, after knowing that the strongest are also divided into 3, 6 and 9, and their strength is divided into many levels, he thought more than once. At that time, what level of the powerhouse would the Soul Clan people who merged with Yun Qingyan be? If it is only the first order Xian, the soul imprisonment under it should be easier to solve. If not, it must be difficult to understand. If it's a first-tier Xian Soul Clan clansman, with the remnant soul and the non-Xiong power being integrated into one, the power of the soul will definitely be greatly reduced. With the strength of me and Xiao Jeju, it is not difficult to remove the soul left behind. Confinement lifted.
Duan Yue sighed. It's a pity that it's not a soul imprisoned under the soul clan of the first tier Xianj. The other party is at least the second tier Xian. Xiaotian, I'm sorry, I couldn't help my younger brother and sister out of trouble. Duan Yue looked at Duan Lingtian and apologized again and again. And Duan Lingtian also came back to his senses at this time, shook his head and smiled bitterly. Sister Wei, you don't need to apologize, you can come with me, you already have the intention. As for whether it can unlock Kier's soul imprisonment, I knew from the beginning, it depends on luck. It seems that luck is average. At this moment, Duan Lingtian was naturally full of disappointment. However, there is nothing to be done. But at this time, Duan Yue continued. Although there is no way to remove the soul imprisonment for my younger brother and sister. But, if I join forces with Xiao Jeju, we can still retain our soul power to resist that soul imprisonment in the depths of my younger brother and sister's consciousness. Power. This will buy some more time. In this way, the soul of the younger brother and sister will not be wiped out so early. As soon as Duan Yue said these words, Duan Lingshan's eyes suddenly lit up. In fact, he is going to ask the 2.5 saints in front of him next. Now, Duan Yue said at first, the disappointment in his heart was gone, and it was replaced by surprise. As long as he can buy more time, he believes that in the future, he will definitely be able to ask the saint to take action. In the blink of an eye, Duan Lingshan's mood felt as if he had experienced a double heaven of ice and fire. Then next, I will trouble Sister Wei and Senior Xiao. Duan Lingtian will never forget this kindness. Duan Lingtian said solemnly. You and I have a sister and brother, there is no need for this. Duan Yue shook her head and smiled. And Xiao Mubai shook his head and said, You are one of the younger generation in the god-defying realm, and I am one of the people I like the most. This trivial matter, as Yu Yi Banqing said, really doesn't need to be the case. Chapter 4508. In fact, when I came back this time, the result was beyond Duan Lingshan's expectations. Therefore, after Duan Yue and Xiao Mubai helped Kier, he was in a good mood when he got together with the head of the Xia family, Xia Yu, and the third master of the Xia family, Xia Jie. At this time, Xiao Mubai had already left. Of course, before he left, Duan Yue told him that he would leave the anti-god realm within 2 days and would not stay here for long. Because, 2 days later, her younger brother Duan Lingtian will also set off to a place of return to the ruins discovered by the sage power Bibo Tianfu. Duan Yue didn't have any intention of concealing the place of return to the ruins. In fact, there is no need to hide it. Bibo Tianfu, as a sage power, it found the place of return to the ruins. There are people who are jealous, and how many people dare to go to him to get a piece of the pie? A number of saint forces joined forces, but they could force Bibo Tianfu to bow their heads. However, once this kind of thing is a precedent, and other sage forces discover the land of return to the ruins in the future, isn't it necessary to give other sage forces a share? Therefore, the sage forces of all parties reached a consensus a long time ago. Among the sage forces, whoever discovers the place of return to the ruins belongs to whom, and other sage forces must not have the idea of a share. The land of return to ruins? Restrictions. Under the Xian, the 4th rank of Kendo? And when Duan Yue mentioned the conditions to be met by those who enter the place of return to the ruins in Bibo Tianfu, she couldn't help but be a little surprised. There is such a request. That place of return to the ruins is most likely created by an existence who is good at swordsmanship. There are 2 types of return to the ruins. The first is formed by the rules of heaven and earth. This is also a pure natural return to the ruins. There is no specific test in it, but if you want to find something in it, you need a lot of effort. Such places of return to the ruins are often more dangerous. It has no restrictions on entrance, and even the strongest in the world can enter it. However, there are some dangers in it, and even the strongest in the world may perish because of a single thought. Of course, such places of return to the ruins are relatively rare, and once they appear, they are all explored by the forces of saints in all worlds and even beyond the world. If any sage power covets such a place of return, there is often only one result. That is the death of saints and the withering of power. For countless years, there have been many sage forces, all because they want to swallow such a place of return to the ruins, so the final end is not very good. And if more sage forces participate, the risks can be shared equally. At the same time of sharing the risks, it is possible to take advantage of the chaos. Another place to return to the ruins. It is like the place of return to the ruins that Bibo Tianfu discovered this time. These places of return to the ruins are said to be the treasures left by the ancient powers in the ancient times, when there was no distinction between the 10,000 worlds and the outside world. And the ancient powerhouses who can leave the land of return to the ruins are said to have stepped into the existence of the 7th order Xian or above.
You must know that the strength of the ceiling in the world and beyond the world today is the saint, that is, the powerhouse of the world. And these existences, among the strongest, are considered to be the 6th order powerhouse, commonly known as the extreme 6th order. What is the concept of existence above the 7th order Xian? That is to say, those ancient powerhouses who left the land of return to the ruins, whoever walks out of one person, can hang any top powerhouses in the world and beyond.
Duan Ling Tian, that place of return to the ruins is most likely left by a strong swordsman from the ancient times. For you, it may be a chance or a disaster. Listen to what you just said. After you arrived in the land outside the world, you haven't entered the land of return to the ruin. As a forerunner of the anti-god realm, let me give you a piece of advice. In the land of return to the ruins, you must be bold. Mind, don't take any risks, and don't be afraid. Only in this way can you ensure that you can maximize your gains in the land of return to ruins. Before leaving the Xia family, Xiao Mubai deliberately left a piece of advice to Duan Ling Tian, which could be regarded as a wake-up call to Duan Ling Tian. Duan Ling Tian is one of the young people he is most optimistic about in the anti-god realm.
If possible, he naturally hopes that Duan Ling Tian can take off and become the top powerhouse in the world and even beyond the world.
That, for the anti-god realm, is a great deed. He didn't stop Duan Ling Tian from taking risks, because he knows that there are some risks that must be taken on the road of growth of the strong. Just like when he wandered outside the world, he also entered many places of return to the ruins, several times, and almost lost his life.
It can be said that it is because of those experiences that he is who he is today.
In the anti-god realm, the youngest world lord and the youngest half-step world venerable in history, Xiao Jeju, is the youngest half-step Jesuan in the history of the anti-god realm. When Duan Ling Tian learned this from the mouth of Xia Jie, the third master of the Xia family, he couldn't help but be startled. Is that senior sword of time not as good as him? Time sword. That is the god-defying powerhouse.
Even in a place outside the realm, he has heard people mention the time sword many times, a super strong person who is good at kendo, who is a strong person who has gone out from the god-defying realm.
It is a pity that Tian, jealous of Ing Kai, the senior of the time sword, died before he stepped into the realm of Jezun. Before Jeju Shao, senior sword of time did indeed hold the record of the youngest half-step Jesuan and the youngest Jeju in the anti-god realm. However, the appearance of Jeju Shao broke this record. When Xia Jie mentioned Xiao Mubai, the world master of the god-defying realm, his eyes were full of reverence. I heard from the ancestors, when Xiao Jeju first entered the Xian, he was the existence of the third order Xian. At that time, in the entire anti-god realm, under the fourth order Xian, no one was his opponent. When he stepped into the fourth order Xian, he continued to be invincible in the fourth order Xian. Moreover, his fourth order invincibility can defeat any of the fourth order Xians in our anti-god realm within 3 moves. The presence. It's this kind of invincibility. Xia Jie's words made Duan Ling Tian take a deep breath. That world lord Xiao was so strong? I heard from the ancestors that even if Jie Master Xiao walked out of the god-defying realm and went to a place outside the realm, he had achieved a great reputation. The existence under the 5th rank of the Xian was basically not the Xian at that time. His opponent of Tier 4. Later, he returned to the anti-god realm and was promoted to become a top 5 tier powerhouse, and became the realm master of the anti-god realm. Having said this, Xia Jie paused for a while, and said to Duan Ling Tian through voice transmission. It is said that the powerful Jezun realm in the legend of the anti-god realm is the father of Xiao Jeju, his biological father. As soon as these words came out, Duan Ling Tian was shocked. Dare to be affectionate, Jeju Xiao is not only his own talent and strength, but also his background, which is also so terrifying. The only Jezun realm powerhouse in the god-defying realm turned out to be Jie Master Xiao's biological father? That is the backbone of the anti-god realm based on the 10,000 realms middle 18 realms. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.